And like I said, the bigger we get, we got more people coming at us. People are going to try to do bad things to us no matter what because they don't want us to succeed.
Is we grew up so fast that we got so much attention, and you're not allowed to, in the corrupted market, you're not allowed to grow fast. You're not allowed to pop out of nowhere and help people change their life. You're not allowed to do that.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly.
Karma's a bitch.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? I guess a motorcycle wanted to say hello to all of you with me. I don't know if you heard that, but I hope all of you are having a fabulous, wonderful day. Sorry I'm a little late. I realized I forgot to get an intro together for this one. I apologize. It was a long weekend here this past weekend. It was Victoria Day yesterday. And so I'm a little out of it. I won't lie. I had a fun, long weekend. I hope all of you enjoyed the video from yesterday. Maybe learned some stuff about AI that maybe you didn't know about before. And I think that will help you also in your trolling of the Onpassive chats if you so choose to do so. Today, I'm not telling you to, all right? I'm not saying go do it, but I'm also not saying don't go do it, all right? We'll just leave it at that. Today, we're going to be reacting to the Marty and Mike Ellis video because They claim to be talking about numbers.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Thanks, Mike. We know. So they claim to be talking about numbers, and I'm not really sure what numbers they could be talking about because Onpassive doesn't really have any numbers like to discuss at all. I mean, they have one product for sale. So one, I guess that's a number, but one is the loneliest number. So I'm quite interested to hear what they have to say about numbers at Onpassive. If you are interested in what the numbers in Onpassive could be, I should say, please head on over to Hunbot. That's HUNBOT.net. And if you go to that website, which is run by my dear friend, the recovering Hunbot, you are going to see these tools. And you can actually come over and you can figure out what your income will be using the recovering Hunbot's Onpassive Founder Income Calculator. Those will give you some real numbers of what you could be potentially making in the Onpassive business. And I think that would probably answer your questions a lot more than Mike Ellis and Marty DeGarmo. There's also an Onpassive country analysis where you can kind of read some of the best statistics about Onpassive posted on the entire internet. You could search the entire internet for information on this company, and I promise you, the best statistics you will find are actually on hunbot.net. So, I strongly recommend going there instead of listening to these buffoons. But today we're here to listen to the buffoons. So without further ado, we'll just get right into the video. Violet has gifted 5 Queen of Karma memberships. Thank you so much, Violet. You rock as always. So if you guys get one of those memberships in the chat today, be sure to say thank you to Violet. I see Thomas got one. He said thank you. Hello, Chelsea. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So yes, thank Violet. Thank Violet for them. It's absolute buffoonery. I feel like right now they're doing, I guess, what you could consider as filler content. It's like they don't have anything to really talk about. We have another extension on OConnect, as we became aware. There was an O-Ron that had Ash on. Look at that rhyme. Look at me. I'm writing poetry as we go. But I'll tell you right now, not much went on there. The Recovering Hunbot also streamed that. So if you want to go and check it out, you can go and check it out. But if you don't have the time, you are not missing anything. I did post a clip of it over the weekend of a little bit of it that I found to be kind of fun because for some reason they were talking about spoons for way too long. And then Marty basically told all of us that he has Dawn blame the grandkids for stuff that he breaks or things that he does around the house. And I don't know if he's joking. So there was that. Other than that, they kind of just rambled on about the usual stuff that they ramble on about. It was more of a hangout session. But it is like, it feels sort of surreal to watch in a way. I don't know if that describes it well for all of you. But Jelly's saying it was highly disturbing. So maybe that will give you an idea of how it went. But it ended up being very much kind of like Ash back in the day. Right? We've talked about this, about how before this last year, Ash used to come out and do like 5-hour webinars where he would just be sitting there chit-chatting with everyone. And then he would always end up going into like sexist rants, racist rants, making really, really grandiose promises of not only products, but, saving humanity or just anything really for that matter. And it would be an absolute disaster. It basically was just like that. It brought me back to early on passive content when me and the recovering Hunbot were reacting to Ash often together, because it was like, I can't get through this by myself. I'll actually go insane. I will go insane. So it was fun. But basically, all you need to know is that as of right now, the commissions have still not been released, although allegedly they're off hold any day now, going to a bank account. We still haven't heard anything on that. Ash didn't give any more information than what he had said when he was on the 360 like the week before. And that's why it was kind of pointless. It was just him kind of repeating all that over again and then being an idiot the rest of the time. So because of that, they of course then had to give another 10-day extension for the O Connect. So that's still going on as of right now. And it's probably going to be an indefinite extension until he can pay out, which again, we don't know when that will be. And there still isn't really any talk of any new products, which I'm waiting for, because allegedly there was a bunch of products that were going to be released around now. But they're not mentioning that. They're just talking about spoons. So I'm a little interested to see what numbers Mike and Marty are talking about. Agent says, Ron was kind of like Ash visiting an old folks' home to entertain the residents. It was very weird, right? It was a different vibe than when he comes on the 360 to give an update. It reminded me of old Ash. While they were discussing which of them had been intimate with another person on the beach, Marty then said, the only one I ever do it with is my hand. Surprised he can find it. That's, we thought he was still looking for his Johnson. Hello, Ella. Good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful birthday. Hello, Mark. Here's the crazy part, Queen. If he says he's finally giving out money, isn't Onpassive's bank supposed to have some test deposits for verification to make sure payments actually work? You would think that they would have something like that, or that he would be smart and put away some money to go on hold, because the next time he gets a merchant, that's just going to happen again. Everyone's saying it was so nice to see Ash let his hair down. What hair? I mean, he has almost a full head of hair, I'd say, but okay. Isn't he usually like relaxed, letting his hair down? Like, what is he doing? I want them to actually tell us what he's doing. Test deposits in Marty's hand. But that's what Marty seems to think.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday, as you can see. One of the partners in crime are with me. So get your fire.
Marty, you joke about that, but I warned you at the beginning of me covering this thing that if you continue down this road of being one of the top people in this thing, then it's possible that if it ever does get any kind of criminal charges, like Ash goes down, gets criminally charged for all this, you could too. And so could Mike. So I know you're joking, but it's pretty spot on. You might be sharing a cell one day.
Fire extinguisher, I think. Okay, I'll get started. And what we wanted to talk about is talking to Mike. Well, I've talked to Mike 1,000 times, but recently was a couple things. One was the numbers. I know it flips everybody out.
I think it's weird how they think they're like cool for talking to each other behind them. Like, it's so bizarre. Like, imagine if I was like, and look, here's the devil's advocate here in my chat. I talked to him the other day. You know what? We've talked many times for many years. And then like acted like it, like you guys should be jealous that like me and him have spoken, because that's the vibe that Marty gives me when he like says things like that, when he's like, oh, I've talked to Mike Ellis a lot. It's like other people are supposed to be looking at him going, oh man, I wish I was like Marty and I also got to talk to Mike Ellis a lot. And I'm like, it would be saying this.
And what I want to cross over to is the limits of Onpassive.
Oh, Peaceful says if they share a cell, maybe it will be Ash's hand instead of, his own hand. Maybe they'll have to take the chair with him, Taylor. They're just going to have to come with a forklift. Just come with a forklift. Yeah, he wasn't hiding his ego.
And how every aspect of Onpassive is unlimited. And I want to compare it to where I've been. I had figured out yesterday or last night why, I don't know. But I was in about 100.
Yeah, actually, Jelly, it wasn't Belgium. It was Belguin. I don't know where that is. The Devil's Advocate doesn't even know where it is. We were all like, wait, what place? Where is this? So I don't know what he was talking about the people in Belgium about, but I did see him talking to the people in Belgium.
Businesses 15 years before I got here. Many of those with Mike and Tam, but a lot of them. And the reason I'm saying is they never lasted long enough.
Not wrong.
And it wasn't because of me. It wasn't because of Mike. A lot of times, or most of the time, it was a few things. One is they weren't built to go long term. In fact, I think deliberately. Can't prove that, but I think they get in, they make a flash of money. They have a few people at the top. Maybe they're buddies, maybe they're not. I can't say that, but I see the same people, different businesses every 6 months. I could be wrong, but use your imagination. So they do something that's quick. It's not meant to run a long time.
It's weird to see Marty putting this together about other alleged opportunities while he's sitting in Onpassive.
And it dies.
Good one, Mark.
Well, what does that do to the other 98% that don't know the system? They don't know how to build. They don't even have a chance, because even if they did, won't give up and will go. What happens is that even if they get one or two and maybe they stayed in, the company's done. So they're discouraged. They're
right, Jelly. Not only that, but if we're comparing it to all the other MLMs out there that I would argue are more legit, when they're running for 5-6 years, they actually are selling products the whole time. What have these guys been doing? They've been in pre-launch for 6 years. So it's like, technically, they haven't even started yet.
The list is now getting smaller. And you say, well, why would that be? Because their list is friends and family. They're only going to do this a few times. I've had people follow me a couple different ones, family, so-called family and friends. And then after that, they're like, we don't want no parts of that. Keep it, And they always have to say, are you making money? Well, a little bit. Well, I'm not going to be able to do it. It's nightmare. Just let me tell you that. And Onpassive.
But what do you say to people when they reach out to you right now about you making money? It's so weird, Marty, because you would have to admit at this point that if you were in any other MLM for 6 years, you would have more to show for it. It wouldn't be much more. Maybe would make $54 a month is actually close to around the average that they make, okay? Let's say even if you made $100 in each one a month, because you got a couple recruits under you or something, right? That's still more money and more success than you've had it Onpassive in 6 years. So it's like, how do you come out here and talk about how other companies don't make any money when you're sitting in one that's like the only MLM in the history of MLMs to ever have a 6-year pre-launch period where everyone sits around and no one gets paid? It's a little bit ridiculous.
And this is beautiful. It's
Beautiful.
unlimited. Everything's unlimited. I remember even talking to Mr. Mufara. He would go in and ask the same questions, but he's looking at a bigger scale. He's going to build whatever company it was. He's going to build a system for that company, because he knows how, to maximize their pay.
I would argue that those systems, right, the do-it-for-you system that will make you money, no matter what kind it is, they were known as a scam before MLMs were known as a scam. Okay? We all got those fucking screens in the 90s that would be like, we came up with a system that is going to teach you how to trade money, and then you will become a millionaire within a week. All you have to do is invest $10 and follow these 20 steps and use our paid-for system. And then you would turn it off. It made you watch like 20 seconds before you could. This was before YouTube, you know? But, like, I'm just like, come on, man. Like, it's not that much different what you're doing here. Right? Like, you're like, we cracked the code for MLMs. It's like, there isn't one. That's sort of the whole point. There isn't one. Just like there's no way to predict algorithms. Believe it or not. All right? Believe it or not. So everyone that's out here going, I can sell you how to predict algorithms and blah, blah, blah. There's no way to really do it. There is no like mathematical code that you can come up with that will make it so that you crack that. And then you just, viral product. Like you seem to think. It's like, that's not a thing.
He's told what it is. He looks at it. He looks at the products. He looks at what he has to do. He finagles some kind of system and off to the races. Okay. And I mean, off to the races. Hold on one second. Let me shut this off, because that's not going to stop. I shut it off.
Okay.
And he'd go off to the.
You can ignore your family and friends or probably debt collectors like Marty if you just join Onpassive today.
Races, right? So, but even in those businesses, what he didn't like, he didn't like it because that's not the way it is in Onpassive. Everything in Onpassive is totally the opposite of the MLMs, because he got rid of limits. He would max out the pay structure, and now he's making very good. He's made millions, no doubt about it. He would give the system to people that were in his team, and he said about 2% used it. And you say, why would they do that? That's people. It is. We've had hundreds of people. I want to do what you want to do. Okay.
Hello, Critical. Critical says Temu came out in 2022. Temu is also a scam, by the way, that uses children to do their labor. So don't buy anything from Temu. But as of January 2024, it had 47 million downloads of the app. And God knows how many customers. And Onpassive started in 2018 and has less than 4 million signups. Right. And also, I bet you Temu didn't have as big of a problem with fucking getting a merchant, being able to make those sales. I've never heard of a company having the issues that Ash has had. Like he has to have created his own issues somehow, or like the SEC really has to be affecting him.
I crap. It's just the way it is. People don't want that. So, and the longer he would go in the business, guess what? He's still making money for the company, but he's limited. He's
What are
already
you
at a
talking
plateau. He's done. He's doing other stuff. Now, Ash did many things. He's invented many things that we don't even know about. But just giving you
Like what? What has he invented? What, GDI fusion? Like, I'm just Ash Max? Yeah, how did that go? None of the technology that this company is even having in the future, never mind what it already has, but even their ideas that they have for in future, all of the products, because there is a product list of over 50 products that they claimed they were going to have, right? Not one of them is a brand new idea. Granted, it's a little hard to come up with a brand new idea for products right now, but at the same time, not one of them. They're all things that are already in existence, right? So what has Ash invented? He hasn't even invented an idea that's innovative yet. Not one.
an idea. So he comes in Onpassive and he says, well, when I got in, I asked, is there a limit? I went to the same thing. Can anybody do it? Because that was important. Yeah. What's the limit on what you can make? It's unlimited. Are you kidding? Is there an
Okay, but oh my god, imagine being at a job interview. And at the end of the interview, of course, the person interviewing you says, I really do like you for this job. I'm thinking you're gonna make the cut. Is there any questions that you have for me? And so your question, of course, is, what's the salary? Because that's usually up for contract. Most of you, I'm assuming, had real jobs. And then they just look at you and they say, the pay is unlimited. You're probably going to be like, what do you mean? No, but like, what's my salary? It's unlimited. Okay. Is there like a starting point? Like what? Like, just, am I starting at zero? I don't understand. What does that mean?
ownership? No. Are they selling freaking widgets? What do you mean by that? Are they trying to sell you something that nobody wants?
And this is when you would think that the light would go on, but it doesn't.
Is it in high demand? That's all I want to know. Yes.
It's
Physical, they didn't say physical then because they didn't know. Digital products, high demand. People are using these type products today. I was happy as a lark. So we got in. I got in, Mike got in, Dan got in. Boom, boom, boom.
That's not all it was. You keep forgetting to explain to a lot of these people that you all knew Ash from before. So it probably went more like Ash going, hey guys, we've been trying these MLM things and they haven't been working out for us. What if we make one? Like, I'll create an MLM. I've done it before, as you guys know, with GDI Fusion and Ash Max. I'm going to make an MLM and then you guys just be in first. And then you guys were like, yeah, all right, that sounds good, Still do kind of owe us from Ash Max.
Now, when we got in, you start, and I'm going to give an example of Onpassive to me.
He looks like he's pooping his pants, doesn't he? Just the whole time. Looks like he's going to explode. Maybe his ears are popping.
And everything else. And why Onpassive is going to be great for you from my experience. As time went on, and it was
like, this is what I mean. I don't. He's giving us almost like an elevator pitch right now. And I never understand what the fuck the point is in even selling this right now. Right? You can't buy the O Connect in there. You can't join as an O founder, an affiliate. I mean, I guess you could kind of join as a free affiliate, But then when you're sending your link out, like once the other people get there, they're not doing anything. Like, this is what I mean. You're just not doing anything. Nobody can buy this thing. I mean, it's just seems all very pointless to me.
Evolving into what we know today. Ash didn't know when I got in that it was going to evolve to where it is today. But his mind was going there. Like, he wanted to go where we are now, but the time period might have been a lot longer.
What are you talking about? You started this thing in 2018. Zoom took off because of the pandemic. If Ash had a brain at all, he would have had this O-Connect stuff ready to go. It would have been better than Zoom and had more features, and it would have been less expensive. And you guys might be rolling in it right now. If he actually was serious in 2018 about doing any of this shit. Or as you say, had this like image in his brain of where things could be in several years. He sort of fucked up and missed the boat for your video conferencing application. And this is what I mean, is if you knew anything about the market at all, because I definitely don't, all right, I know shit. But what I do know is video conferencing apps, Zoom being one of the main ones, blew up during the pandemic when everyone had to use video conferencing to work, to go to court even, they were using it. That's why there's so many of these like court videos coming out now. I don't know if you guys watch them. I watch a lot of them during the day. I'm either watching Onpassive or court videos usually when I'm doing stuff around the house all morning and afternoon, right? So like that's what I watch in my spare time. But that's why there are so many of them, because they also started to do courts like on video conferencing. People recorded them. I don't think you were supposed to all the time, but whatever. And like, so I'm pretty sure most people could, like, even if you didn't know anything about technology at all, it's kind of common sense to sit down and go, huh, everyone was inside. Everyone had to work online. That would have been a good time to release a video conferencing app. And it's like, you missed that. And you probably could have the O-Connect as it is out now, which isn't exactly great, but I mean, you could have had it done back then if Ash was planning all of this, as you say. But I really don't think he was. I think you're just trying to convince yourself that he was, as he claimed to have been. But nothing happened with Onpassive until the SEC litigation showed up on Ash's desk, and then he went, oh shit, I better fucking make this into a real company now.
Because he would have done it more in steps. But anyway, as it went, every month it went by, every 6 months, every year, we
Mark says, my founder friend said O-Connect was ready to go for the pandemic, but Ash didn't want to release it in case competitors copied it. It's like, that makes no sense. Also, if you had like, if you had it ready to go for the pandemic and you release it and people copy it, if you had created it from scratch, that would have just made you more money. Especially if you had like a patent on that somehow, right? You know, because you actually did create it from scratch and everything. I'm just saying, it's not a bad thing to be copied. Apple did something similar. They had the iPad ready before the iPhone, but there was no market yet, so they kept it on ice for a couple years, right? Maybe he just thinks he's doing something like that.
Focused on, and I'm going to speak for Mike and Dan too, but we focused on what we could do and had faith in what they're doing. And I mean, they're Mr. Mufara, the team, whatever. Because we have no control over it. And we would build and we would go and we had a crystal ball that we made. Sometimes it didn't work very well. But we looked at the pieces of what are going together and we're going, oh.
Why do you keep saying we? Like you were in a room with Ash, sitting at a table, planning this all out with him, Marty. Because you weren't.
The wind's blowing north by northwest latitude. Here's where we're going. And we were very fortunate because we figured we were pretty good at it. No doubt about it. Maybe I'm being arrogant. I'll be arrogant just for a couple minutes. We had a pretty good guess of where we're heading. That the success we're heading to is.
That's okay. You can't do it to me anymore anyway.
Monumental. The only thing that changed during those 5 years is
your resources have been exhausted. Exhausted. You know, I'll just get a phone call and they'll be like, "Hi, Beth. Sorry to bug you again. Somebody made another call. Just letting you know."
It's bigger and better than I thought. And every month that went by, it got bigger and better than I thought. And this sounds totally hypey and MLM, get in, or you'll be I'm just telling you from my experience.
It's because that's exactly what it is.
I could never imagine myself going in a company and doing what I want to do, spending hours in it, working with people, and make nothing for 5 years. Until Onpassive came. And the reason is, if you go and you're in touch and you're plugged in, and this beast is doing what it's doing, it's alive, by the way. This Onpassive is a life of its own. And I'll give you an example. What made Ash shift gears?
I mean, all of it. What Peaceful's saying and what Marty said. It's definitely got a mind of its own. Not a sound one either.
Decade or so, or 5 years, 10 years, 7 years.
Oh my God.
Is the amount of change that's happening. While he would be, and this is my personal opinion, and he touched on it, I'll try to be as accurate as I can.
Why do we have to keep hearing this over and over again from Marty?
While he's building this business to maintain and to help 50,000 people. That wasn't what it was at first. I bet it was probably 10,000, if that.
Now 50,000 people is a lot of people.
When he's going there and he's working on that, he's got 100,000 people in the business. Why? Crazy.
Then there was 100,000 people. I thought there was millions.
People like me, Mike and Dan, and other people who saw this for what it is. Boom. Now you get his mind going. I know it's dangerous. Sorry, Ash. That now he says, wait a minute. He had his people come back to him and say, hey, what you want to do is great 5 months ago. We can't do for that big.
What?
Okay. We'll get a building. We'll move and he started building. He went from
We'll get 6 buildings that we don't need.
Calcutta to another place and then Hyderabad, right?
I like to pay rent at several different offices that I don't need because the company's not expanding. But, whatever.
We know that story. But that's happening through the evolution of Onpassive. That first company.
Is that why it's taking so long? Everything's taking so long because it's an evolutionary process? It's going to take the length of time it took for people to evolve. Humans to evolve. For Onpassive O-Connect to finally be perfect. Is that what's going on here? Another 40 years from now, and Marty's son and his grandkids will be streaming, going, Dad's on his deathbed, but it's okay. Because O-Connect should be out with version 5.7329 that Red told me to download.
That me, Mike, and Dan saw.
He's Darwin. The
Could've
Darwin
launched a
of
long time ago.
technology.
Thank the Lord above it didn't. Thank the Lord above it. And that concept even, I felt, I know Mike and Dan, they'll let them talk for themselves. I felt we're going to max it out. There's
What does
no
that
doubt in my mind.
mean?
I really believe whatever it is, we'll max it out. And then I heard about infinity, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? Maybe we won't, but we're going to do very well. So, time goes on.
Hannah would love this comment. She loves Evie. That's her favorite.
And this, between me, my opinion, a greater power got involved.
Why
We saw
do
the
we care about your opinion? Here's the thing, Marty. Your opinion on what happened here doesn't fucking matter at all. What actually happened is what mattered. And it was a big fat nothing. Just like your opinion of what's happening right now with the commissions doesn't really matter. Because they're either paid or they're not paid. And right now they're still not paid. Like, your opinion of everything, you should just keep it to yourself sometimes. We don't need to hear it every day, over and over again. My opinion on how this company was built and why Ash is the greatest man ever. An essay written by Marty DeGarmo, who apparently lives on Groundhog Day, because we just keep doing the same thing every day over and over again.
hearted people are joining, and as everything else in the world ever,
Right?
in my
I don't
belief,
know.
a human or people will use these tools to make a difference. God doesn't come down and you see.
How am I going to be using O-Connect to make a difference? Would I have to go up to people and be like, hi, sorry to bother you. I would really like to make a difference in your life, but first I'm going to need you to pay $375 for this application quarterly. Like, they'll be like, I don't need your help. I'm good. Thanks.
All these big flashes in the pan. That's not him, right? He doesn't do that. But he'll use someone that is worthy and strong enough and has the backbone and is a good-hearted person like Mr. Mafar and say, okay, he's the one. I'm going to go inside him and say, you know that step you wanted to take?
You are the chosen one.
Take it. And when he got that step, he said, Ash was thinking to himself, do I open that next door? Do I open the next one? Do I stop? Or do I... No, go ahead. And what happened? We went from September, no,
Yeah, September.
June or July of 2020.
Oh,
We had
okay.
100,000 people. That next year, we picked up over 1 million. Okay. So this plan, now Ash knows. I have the people. I have good people. Yeah, you got a couple of weeds in there, so you pick the weeds. You got a
I
nice.
say over 1 million, but I mean, the SEC only found 800,000 people or so-called accounts that paid the $97 to be an O founder. So I don't know where this extra 200,000 plus people came from. Maybe that's who's being hidden in the fucking basement, being let out as traffic in future. I don't know.
Garden, right? I mean, you're gonna.
Well, that's an O million.
Okay, there's weeds. There's weeds everywhere. but we have actually pushed the weeds aside too because the core of this company is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he said it: the power of the company is the people. So what happens then when he goes to share this business? You go through some people, and they're not good enough. I don't know names. I don't know whatever, but they're not quite at the level of what Ash wants. Let's just say. Now look what happened. Look in the last 6 months, a year. Go back to Kamal, a couple of years. But from then on, he starts getting massive, very talented people on his side.
When did that happen?
things have grown, but guess what? That side needs to beef up. It needs to be able to handle this side. And listen, I don't know about you, but I believe God has a sense of humor. So he's watching this going, well, what's he going to do here? And he did it, whatever it was. I'm making a joke out of it, but I mean that. So he starts building this workforce of
Onpassive family. And Ash is like the dad that left when he went out for cigarettes and that never paid your mom child support, huh?
very gifted people. Not Ronald McDonald, not, Mr. Potato Head. We're talking about people that weren't looking for a job. Now, why did they come? Because they saw Ash. They heard him. They know his belief. They know that he walked the walk. They know they're learning.
When? Did I miss it?
Now, even when there was a problem with the merchants and they gobbled up and held money. And it could be.
Stop saying that. This is what I mean. You don't even take 2 seconds to go and Google why a merchant would hold money. I did a whole video on it for you where I explained everything to you. And you still don't take a moment to just be like, oh, why would they hold the money? It's completely legal for them and actually safer for you as well as a company for them to hold a certain percentage for up to 6 months. They didn't come and gobble up a bunch of your money. They didn't come and try to steal money from you. No merchant is going to ever want to fucking work with you. Because your last several videos, every time you mention a merchant, you shit on them for doing their legal jobs. Do you think any other merchant is ever going to want to look at you again? If I was that merchant and you tried to sue me for doing stuff within my rights and within the law to protect myself as a merchant and your company, by the way, for the regulations and laws and everything, and you fucking sued me, I'd be on the phone to every single fucking merchant I knew, and I would make sure that you would not be able to get one in future. Because I would be like, these motherfuckers will sue you for doing your job. You're supposed to take a percentage and put it aside. You do not know how the world fucking works. So many places ask for a security deposit for things. That's what they did. Think of it as they took a security deposit and put it aside. And you're sitting here as if they came into Ash's fucking underwear drawer in the middle of the night where he keeps his fucking checkbook and wrote themselves a bunch of checks and robbed him. And it's no. And if you knew anything about business whatsoever, then you would have looked into that or you'd already know it. But instead you're sitting here literally talking about this like they robbed you at gunpoint. It's that's not what happened. They didn't come and gobble up your money. No, especially since you're literally sitting here bragging that they got to give it back to you. So how was it stolen? If they're now putting it in a bank account for Ash. Turns out they're dumber thieves than Ash is. If that's the case. But this is what I mean. You have to have a certain amount of professionalism that Ash doesn't have. That then, because he doesn't have it, because he's an idiot, and comes out here and goes, oh yeah, we tried to take a merchant to court and we lost. They're trying to steal money from us. No CEO would ever do that. Even if it was fucking true. He would know to keep his mouth shut publicly, handle this behind the scene with his lawyers. and then not worry everyone in his fucking company with all of that. But he tells you guys these things because he wants you to go, oh my God, that's what's happening. Oh, well, it's not Ash's fault. And oh, Ash, he just deals with so much for us. Goes through so much for us just to run this company. Instead of being professional and maybe not talking shit on the merchants. Because like I said, all the future ones also do this. Any legit legal merchant that you are going to have to go with in the future all follow those laws and regulations and will want that security deposit. And all they would have to do is come across this stream and be like, whoa, wait. If we take on Onpassive, are they going to accuse us of robbing them in future? Because, like, we don't want that rep for our business. Like, think about it, you know? But this is why Ash shouldn't be out here doing things like that. There would have been a way to tell everybody by telling them the truth. I don't understand. The truth is better. That's what I don't get. Why would you make up that the merchant's trying to fucking sue you, tell everyone he took them to court, all this shit, when all you had to do is tell the fucking truth? We're a new company. You didn't even have to mention the SEC since I know you're grimy and non-transparent and don't want to tell anyone about it. You could have just said what you started to kind of say at the beginning of all this. We're a new company. It was a lot of money being spent. They wanted to hold on to a deposit. And then you're not shitting on an entire industry that you're going to have to depend on in future for your business's success. Like, how do you not get that? Even if Ash comes out with his own merchant, he's still got to look up to the regulatory agencies like the SEC and da-da-da. So it's like, maybe don't get sued by them and talk shit about them all over the internet either. You know, but no, he doesn't think of these things. Maybe his problem is he sucks at networking. He tries to shit on everyone in these industries that he should be being respectful to. Industries he should be networking with. People he should be trying to get along with. You know, he'd be way more ahead if he did that. Instead of coming out here and shitting on merchants, having Marty shit on merchants and everyone else shit on them. Because again, it comes from the top. Leadership comes from the top. Like, Marty wouldn't be over here talking mad shit on the merchants if Ash didn't come out here and talk all that shit on them. So now Marty's like, oh, well, that's fine for us to do. Who cares about professionalism? Or building bridges in the tech industry, business industry, you know?
50, 60, 70 million dollars. I don't know. But I know this. There was $37 million in bonuses to be paid out. And they had that and some.
Remember, there was 37. Remember 7. It's a lot of people's lucky numbers. Should be able to remember it. 37 million. Just remember that.
Okay, so it could have been a lot more. But we don't know. That doesn't matter. But during that time, normal company, normal.
I mean, Violet, honestly, that, like, they're not making it better for themselves. Like, it's like you already looked bad because you took them to court and tried to fight a merchant on doing things they're allowed to do. You know, and it, like I said, things that are also in place to protect the business. It's also supposed to be for if the business has a bunch of, like, refunds and then they end up having to pay extra fees and all that kind of stuff. That money is supposed to go towards that kind of thing, right? It's like I said, it's like a security deposit. It's also good for them. So it's like, man, imagine being a merchant and then having this company approach you. You're going to look into them and then you just come across all these videos of Marty and Ash like, fuck merchants! Like, you're probably not going to really want to work with them, you know? It's like they just dig their holes deeper. I don't understand it.
CEO.
Why?
And I love saying that Ash is crazy and he's not normal. Because his crazy not normalness.
See, there's a lot of shady ones, but the thing is, they won't put themselves in a spotlight. So they're not going to want to hook up with these guys because these guys are in a spotlight. So if you're shady, you don't really want to hook up with people that are known to be shady. You want to keep your shadiness a secret. So they might have more issues. And I think that that's kind of what's been going on. I like to think that the only thing Ash has been trying to do over the past several months is trying to find a merchant. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them are like, nope, sorry, can't use us. How can they need to reimburse $37 million when no one could pay Onpassive money, Chris says. There's no way that the processor took in more than 37 million, maybe 37,000. It's a ridiculous number. I do believe that the most that they can take is like 65%, was it? I said it in my video. But I believe it's like 65% of the like value, revenue, or whatever they're allowed to take and put on hold. So like the 37 million would then only be that percentage. So I would have to agree with you. 37,000 sounds more legit for how many O-Connects were probably also bought. As we know, not everyone bought it. There was a lot of people in PNG that did not have $143 to fork over for O-Connect. So although they may have enough founders where if they figured out how, if they said, okay, we have 800,000 people and they all paid for O-Connect and that equals 37 million or whatever, it's like, okay, but not all of them actually bought it. And I don't know if Ash is keeping track of how many people actually buy each one of these fucking products. Because I bet you he has no bookkeeper.
It's going to change the world in a good way. And I'm part of it, Mike's part of it, Dan's part of it, you're all part of it. I'm so happy over that. But the point is, when he did all this and he's building this monster, everything he did in it, even the foundation, I wondered it sometimes a year ago. I know I'm just talking here, but nobody's coming on after us. And I feel like talking. So,
okay.
Anyway, even
let me go, Jelly. All right, that's why. Marty rants at the beginning of his live streams just because, you know what? He feels like talking. All right? And what he has to say is fucking important. He's the most important man in Onpassive other than Mr. Mufare. All right? Why would they need a bookkeeper when they're cooking the book? I mean, you're not wrong.
He built this monster foundation.
Right, they could only pay from 3 to 3:07 a.m. on Tuesdays if it was partly cloudy, and Wednesday at 4:27 to 4:32 a.m. if it was raining in Montana. Oh my God, why? No! Jelly, he's still going. And he just said, I feel like talking, no one's coming on after us. So I'm just going to ramble on until my heart's content.
A normal foundation. He just kept building a foundation. Branding, foundation. We ain't sold squat.
What?
Now, when you start to get the picture, because I'm plugged in, I'm living it, I breathe it, I drink it, I'm Onpassive.
So how you got that?
The same way. There's a lot of you the same way. So when that's happened, we've had discussions, me and Mike and Dan even. Man, what the freak? And with the cars, the supercars. He does signing stuff over with Egypt, getting Dr. Tarek on his team, getting Professor Susan, Kamal, Nazell. Why? Do you really need all that? You do when you walk onto a camera and you say to a million
Well, either that Mr. Level or he just has 30 black shirts that are the exact same.
people, dream bigger.
I
You have to have that foundation. He's learning this as he goes. He knew the picture started coming clear. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to go unlimited. And of course,
what does that even mean?
if he's going to go unlimited, everything in the company is going to go the same way.
That sounds like Nilo Life and they're fucking unify. We're all gonna unify. We're all gonna go unlimited. Like, this means nothing.
That's what he did. So now here we go with unlimited everything.
Violet's
From
going, whoa.
unlimited potential money, and I mean that. And I've said this, and this is what I mean. This is my opinion, strong opinion. Amazon made 40,000 millionaires. People, the breath goes away, jaw hits the floor. They weren't trying to do that. It was a byproduct of a huge company that threw out a few crumbs, and the crumbs added up to a lot, obviously. Now, take a company that wants everybody to be financially independent, abundantly financially independent, not worry about money, get what you want. And why did he want that? Not only did he say he wanted us, if you need to change your zip code, you need to do something with a car, you need to do something with the travel, you need fill up your pockets, fill up your gas tank. He also knows, and it was embedded into the business, now I'm going to work on your heart.
What?
You have enough, you got what you wanted, you're satisfied. But the people I drew together were people with heart. Now, what are you going to do with the extra abundance? You're going to change the world. And that's where the unlimited goes. I've had people say, I don't have anything back. I don't have a team. You have no freaking idea what you have. Let me get that straight right now. No.
That's so funny, Mike. He's just so funny, oh, that old Mark.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
You don't know what you have. So then how the fuck are they supposed to be excited for it? Or understand, like, what? I don't even understand what the fuck this is. Here's the thing. This whole, like, being financially fit looks different for everyone. For a lot of these people, you've been telling them that they're going to be a millionaire. So for them, being financially fit could mean that they have 6 figures in their bank account, a house that costs them $10 million, every single new car in existence for this year, and fucking 50 boats, RVs, and all the rest. Like, that doesn't tell us anything. Are you saying you're going to give everyone the bare minimum and make it so that they, have food, a roof, all their basic needs met? You're going to bring out Maslow's hierarchy of needs, do all that, and then be like, all right, now give us your money. Any money you make from this moment on, you got to give it to us. It sounds like you're trying to be the government now, and you're taxing people, and I don't like it.
Somebody in Onpassive knows what they have. Do I know what I have as people personal? Yes. I don't know what I have. I'm telling you right now, I have no idea. I stopped thinking about it. When you saw this massive thing developing.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense because you're usually telling us we have to plug in. We have to be engaged. We have to know everything about all of the products and everything going on. And now you're like, oh, you don't even have to keep track of anything or anything you have. And who cares about your team? Everything will just come to you. I feel like I'm getting whiplashed between you don't have to do anything. It's all done for you. Don't worry about anything. And don't worry about the process to pay attention to every single detail. Make sure you're always plugged in. Engage. It's like, which one? Which one is it?
And these walls went down, and I realized I'm not on an acre lot. I'm on a country. I'm on a planet of Onpassive. It's unlimited. You stop focusing on the little things. You just and if you are focused on the little things, you don't realize how much you have ahead of you and around you. So try to do that.
Okay.
But when we talk about money, Mike will get into this more because he enjoys it. I'm worried about making a mistake. I don't want to say anything to jeopardize the company, but we're going to give you potential. There's something we know that I just want to tap on. We know.
Well, I don't know how you're going to give anyone any potentials unless you're using hunbot.net, like I showed you at the beginning of this stream. Because that's the only way for you on the internet right now to get the real numbers of what you can make with how many people you have buying from you as customers or that you recruit within Onpassive. And even that wasn't invented by Ash Mufara. All right, that one was invented instead by the recovering Hunbot. So, again, the best tool in your business was invented by one of our best anti-MLM advocates, not the CEO of your business. Still nothing, Marty? No? All right, just wondering, because I doubt Mike's going to bring that in.
You're going to get 25% from everybody personally that you personally have. Now, remember, organically, you're going to get people. My opinion, millions of people will join Onpassive.
Why have they not joined yet? What's going to change between now and the future that's going to make all these people suddenly flock to you, Marty? Like, what is it?
Just because of what we have. And word of mouth. Millions. My opinion, no doubt about it.
I know you guys get millions of views every day. And people all in your comment section going, when can I sign up for this? I can't wait to use OConnect. Please hurry up and get paid your commissions so you can launch this publicly. I'm on the edge of my seat. I don't want to use Zoom anymore, right? No. Your comment section is full of people that are in Onpassive already. Like, we're kind of at the point now where if it hasn't happened yet, guess what?
And I can tell you why after Mike talks. Millions are going to come in. I think that organically, I mean, just boom, you in, I'm in, you're in. That's going to happen. You could call it traffic. You could call it targeted. You call it whatever you want. Your team, my opinion, is going to grow organically. Then on top of that, too many people got to mind something.
That's right. Ash is just going to flick the switch. And then all of a sudden, everyone's free will on the whole universe is going to disappear. You know, God gave you free will, but Ash Mufara refuses to. You're just going to flock right to it. Everyone in the world.
Get free. No, it's not free. You're in. We're working. We talk to each other. We're building this business around the world. Free is not when Mr. Collins calls me and says, you're going to have a webinar in Belgium. That's not free. He worked at it. He took his time. He got the people together. We're working because he wants to. That's working the business if you want. That's what he wants to do.
So do I work at it or do I set it and forget it? Again, I don't know. I still don't know.
And we all have a chance to do whatever we want to do. But you meet people and you're going, oh my God, this is, and you realize it's bigger than I thought. It's bigger than I thought. I'm better. Now, Ash is sitting at the top of this thing, whatever altitude he's at.
Thomas said, Rush gave us free will, and Hollywood gave us free willy.
And the reason he's smiling and jumping around, because he knows we're just looking at the tip of the iceberg. He knows we don't know what's under the water. He knows behind the curtain number 3, we don't know what it is. And he knows we're guessing, we're trying to figure it out. And he's laughing because he's going, you don't know. Look, I'm a crazy son of a gun. There's no doubt about it.
Seems like kind of a mean game to play on a bunch of people that are depending on you, but maybe that's just me.
I think crazy. I go as far as I can. Everything I did. Onpassive is a playground for me because it's crazy too. But he told me you might know 5%. What a kick in the butt, right? But it also makes you go,
Like, I know it may seem silly, but like, I feel bad because today I was 3 minutes late starting my stream. And I was like, oh no, people are going to be waiting. That's not cool of me. I got to get this thing started. I'll just play an old intro, whatever. I couldn't imagine having millions of people, as you guys say, sitting around going, where's my pay? Where's my commissions? And me just sitting here, la-di-da-di-da, I don't have a care in the world. You know, like Judy Garland, I don't care. And just not caring. Like that I would literally, I think I would have a heart attack and die.
oh, man, because I'm already imagining.
That would end me.
I'm so far gone in imagining and talk to Mike and people privately because I don't want to cause any issues with the company and say some kind of hype.
If you're not transparent about what you are doing, you're not getting my money. It's the golden rule. And the funniest thing about the whole merchant thing is being transparent about that and just telling the truth would have actually been a lot better. In my opinion, Marty, you know, you want everyone to listen to your opinion all the time. Well, in my opinion, it would have been a lot better to just be transparent and open and honest about it instead of making up this weird world where the merchant's trying to rob you and Elon Musk is trying to stop you from saving humanity. It's just weird.
But that's where I'm at.
It's like even when they could be transparent and it would be okay for them to do so, they could do it in a way where they didn't have to like look back the worst, you know? They decide to go, no, let's not do that. Instead, let's look the absolute worst we possibly can, shit all over the merchant, not be transparent, and lie to everyone. That's the better option. Let's do that. It's like Ash every time, right? He's given A or B. Choice B is always full of bullshit and the wrong way to do things, but he keeps picking it over and over and over again. Because why not?
I believe 40,000 millionaires is a freaking joke. I would think that in a bad couple of years, lowest, we'll have 500,000 millionaires. Now, that's over 10 times what they have. And I
bet Marty thinks they speak Belgian in Belgium. Yep. No, that's the language, isn't it? Hello, joke. The ash bomb. Why his family avoids the bathroom for half an hour every morning. I mean, at least that would be something. Because otherwise, the ash bomb so far has just been nothing. Nothing happens. Ash is experimenting with the founders as he himself doesn't know what's happening or where Onpassive is going. I believe that full-heartedly. Like, literally, I swear, we watch him make it up as he goes along. He's just winging it and hoping the founders stick around so he can scam them more. And I definitely think that up until the SEC litigation, it was all just talk. There was nothing happening. It was just all just planning and talking. Which we often said, it has to just be planning and talking. Like, how do you have nothing done? Otherwise, like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing for 6 years? You know, like get something done. But then it was kind of funny to see them scramble and then be able to kind of pull out the OES and ONet, OTracker, OTrim, and even OConnect so quickly. And then it kind of goes to show you that when he wants to fucking do something, he can get some things he's done now, can't he? So he kind of fucked himself in doing it that way as well. Because we've been watching him scramble now for a couple years, and he's just been able to pop out whatever he wants, whenever he feels like. So it's like, okay, so now do that again with 4 more products. Like, why have you not let out another product in over a year? When within a year of you having to let out products, you were able to release technically 5 of them. If you include the OES as like its own sort of thing, which they do sometimes and then other times not. So I'm not really sure. Like, for all we know, in the future, it could cost you money to go into the OES, right? Like, that's still kind of up for debate. It shouldn't be. We should know what the fuck is going on. That's the problem. Being transparent about the merchant means they would have to admit that they were trying to run an illegal scam. See, they didn't have to admit that, and that's what I meant. They'll never be fully transparent, but, like, they could have been more honest about it and not shit on the merchant. Like, they could have kind of just explained how merchants worked. It's like, do they not know? Is that what it is? They don't know, so they didn't know to be like, oh, guys, this happens. Sometimes they put stuff on hold for a while and a different percentage and blah, blah, blah. I feel like if they had explained it like that, it would have gone better for them than being like, the merchant tried to rob us. They got their greedy hands on our money and they won't give it back now, so we sued them. It's like, Jesus Christ, you didn't have to do all that. Amazon didn't have problems with merchants. Most of places don't. Even the scams, believe it or not. This is even the first scam that I've seen have a problem with it. At $5K free a day from having OConnect, every Onpassive founder will be a millionaire in 200 days.
People are going, oh my God, people watching, oh, he's so full of crap. Walk the walk I did. Be plugged in. Look at what's coming. I want you to picture something. Amazon doesn't create squat. They're moving products from point A to point B. And then an affiliate can get in and move the same stuff they're moving from point A to point B. They're not building anything. Now,
right?
Picture this.
Literally every other MLM was able to form and not have these issues. I don't think we've experienced this before in our community where, like, they have this many fucking problems getting started. It's a little ridiculous.
You own a product that is a unicorn company product. It's $1 billion business all by itself.
Because that sounds fucking stupid. That's why. Because any other company, if they had that pitch to them, and some guy was in the boardroom going, hey, boss, I know what we should call this. I got it. And the boss is like, okay, Jimmy, what do you think we should be calling our business? I don't know why everyone's Italian or something. I don't know. And then he's like, I know. We're going to call it a unicorn company. The next thing that happens is Jimmy got fired. Okay? Jimmy got fired that day, and he got kicked out of the fucking boardroom. Because the CEO was like, are you fucking kidding me, Jimmy? You want me to call it a unicorn? Like, a unicorn? A fucking unicorn, Jimmy? And then he was booted out. All right? Security had to come get him. It was really bad. It was bad. It was a bad day at the boardroom. That's why. Because it's stupid. All right? And like, what does that mean? Like, because we joked that it was a unicorn company because unicorns are creatures that don't exist. Very much like everything to do with this company seemed to not exist. And then you guys like adapted it. You were like, yeah, we like that. We're going to stick with it. And I was like, okay. Have fun with that, I can't believe you're still using it. It sounds weird. Like, imagine them being like, it's just a baby company. We're just in our infancy stage. We're going to be a toddler soon. It would be creepy. It's just as creepy being a unicorn company, in my opinion. Well, Satan has taken over the payment system, so Onpassive will fail. Good to see you, Joe. I hope you're having a good day.
And you're a small, fortunate few that get
Bob Larson came, right? He was like, I'll help you.
sharing the revenue.
It's the damn berserker demons.
Now times that times 100. Figure it out. You go get a calculator. I don't know how many zeros that is. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know the potential is unlimited. And you need to know it's unlimited. I went to the Belgian webinar. Beautiful people there. Shout out to Belgium. You guys are amazing. Bunch of young people, really beautiful people too. I'm like, what the freak, man? I must be in the ugliest freaking city in the world. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But the point is, I went there, and they had great questions.
The fetishizing of other races and cultures is a little annoying, but okay.
The one lady said, hey, look, I have a product that I absolutely
He wasn't lying. Every single person that was there was better looking than he is.
love. I absolutely love it. Her arms were folded. She was tense.
Barney, are you sure they were folded? It looked like you had a little trouble trying to fold them there.
She's got to watch this guy, Marty DeGarmo. What's he going to do? And what I told her was, I was happy to answer that. Those are my questions.
Never mind. That's just what I was trying to say in the chat. Was run, get out of this thing. It's a scam.
God gave me a softball, right? She said, I said, well, let me tell you something.
God gave me a softball. I said, she said, he said, she said. Fucking already confused on how this conversation is going.
Obviously, you love this. Yes, it works. I've had this, I've had that. Even Collins told me about this product afterwards to let me know how passionate she is. I said, I want you to picture something.
This is weird.
It's a legit product. It's good, and you love it.
Yes.
And you can do, let's say, a testimonial with you and a couple other people. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And you make that little video. Create comes out. You make a little page. And at the bottom of the page, you have a link. Maybe
Mike's done. He's like, can we get on with this?
A domain, something you want to call it. Get well soon. I don't know, .com. And people come in and they see it. And you're in Rodeo Drive. And we're not Rodeo Drive yet. You're on Main Street. And you go by all these stores. Virtual, by the way. And there's 2 million people, 3 million people that could go by daily. Wow, that's amazing. I can't imagine it. 3 million people walking by my store.
I wish I could cry right now.
Now picture 30 million.
Okay.
300 million. Your store is still there. Now picture, because of a passion you have, everybody you bring into that store to sell them that product that you love, and you have proof that it worked. And they say, well, I want to sell this too. Let me think about it.
Next level says, Onpassive is Skid Row right now. Thinking, not really Rodeo Drive. I don't even think we're on Main Street. We're at Skid Row.
You don't have to think about it. I'm just saying that. When they say, I want to do it too.
Honestly, if you ever do have insomnia and you need something to put you to sleep, yeah, Marty or Lynn. Lynn does it for me sometimes, those streams. Oh, yeah. They can get pretty fucking boring.
You go
to sleep in no time.
Great. Here's what you need to do. No, I don't want you to go out and go after your friends and family, fake it till you make it.
I don't think so, Andy. And also that wouldn't really matter. It has nothing to do with anything.
Get 500 no's on a phone call. Bite me. That is bullcrap. Anybody gives you a nursery rhyme in MLM?
You're driving up the road, you look over, you see a store called The Attic, and then you're like, why the fuck am I in Connorsville, Indiana? Like, what am I doing here? I'm in Onpassive and Connorsville. Obviously, I made a very wrong turn somewhere. I need to get out of here. Damn right I'm on Skid Row. And then you go and you cry yourself to sleep listening to this stream from Marty.
The ending is not good. Okay, we all fall down should be the ending. But the point is, when she tells them, I said, here's what you're going to do.
but the point is... Fuck, what was the point again? What was the damn point of my big rant? I've been going for literally 25 minutes right on the dot. I don't know how to end it. What's the point? What's the point? We'll find out the point after we have a message from our sponsors. Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy. No one fucks with my hose. The lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Now, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Wait, do you have a condom? You don't have one somewhere? Yes. Oi, excuse me there, sir. Do you have these directions? Sure, you just go down that way and make a turn. Don't let her know that your dinger is almost a no-go. Get Tiny Dinger condoms to you discreetly. It's very important to choose the right size, so make sure that you get your tiny size. Don't be caught without a condom. No. Get Tiny Dinger condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Located at your local CVS, pharmacy, Rexall, Shopper, Drug Smart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand.
We get it. You're into feet, and not many girls are also into feet, but you finally found your dream woman. We got your souls covered now. Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger Condoms, trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand, and the same people who brought to you Sexual Endorphin Spray, trademarked. We have now created the Foot Fetish Fantasia Spray. When you're rubbing on her toes, take a deep breath in and smell the sweet aromas of the toilet bowl, the tire shop, dead flowers, and your nana's perfume. After all, it will turn you on more than just her pinky toe will. This little piggy has been to the market and grabbed themselves a bottle of the Foot Fetish Fantasia Spray, trademarked. It made it so much easier to wake to my ex-girlfriend's feet after she posted up her beach trip vacay photos. Grab your bottle now and make that nasty foot fragrance vanish just like a ghost. Located at CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Kmart, Chad's R Us, and in your favorite foot fetishist nightstand. Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger Diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger Diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock Core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger Condoms and Fantasia Foot Spray. Buy Tiny Digger Diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's sponsor.
Yeah, so sometimes I go through shorts just for fun. It's kind of like I'm on TikTok, except I don't tickety talk. So I just do YouTube shorts. And I came across this YouTube short where this woman was showing her feet and then saying that she was making a bunch of money on OnlyFans. So I was like, Joe, maybe I should start a feet OnlyFans. I might be missing out on something, you know? So there's that. Stay tuned for my feet OnlyFans.
I'd like to be a distributor of a product that you love and you have proof that it worked. And they say, well, I want to sell this too.
Who?
Let me think about it. You don't have to think about it. I'm just saying that. When they
Joe says, yes. Yes. I don't know why it wouldn't let me tag you. I tried to tag you on there and it wouldn't let me. So I wanted to make sure that you knew. I was specifically talking to you there. I tried to tag and it wouldn't let me. I hate it. I hate the internet.
say, I want to do it too.
But one day I might do a stream where we just go through YouTube Shorts together and see what happens on YouTube Shorts. Like we'll just randomly scroll, randomly pick some. And then I thought it would be fun for us to see like how many times scammy ones pop up or how many times we get some poor young incel trying to give us dating advice or things of that nature. It would almost be like doing a clip stream where we're reacting to like every single thing I've ever covered in the past, but via shorts. So let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in watching, because I thought it would be fun to do, because we do have to take a break from these scams every once in a while and just have a laugh, you know, at the expense of other things. Like this Friday, there will be a Flat Earth Friday video out. I do like to do one of those every couple weeks at least. Try to get one in at least once a month where we do Flat Earth Friday, just so that you can go and just laugh at something that's a little ridiculous, sort of a conspiracy theory, so it's still along the lines of things I cover, but it's not as heavy, maybe, as some people find covering scams that are trying to rip off millions of vulnerable people to be. Or cults like Love Has Won, or Ek, which we're going to start covering again probably in a couple weeks. You know?
You go, great. Here's what you need to do. No, I don't want you to go out and go after your friends and family, fake it till you make it, get 500 no's on a phone call. Bite me. That is bullcrap. Anybody that gives you a nursery rhyme in MLM, the ending is not good. Okay, we all fall down should be the ending. But the point is,
that is probably going to be the ending of Onpassive, unfortunately. And speaking of heavy topics, I'm constantly trying to figure out in my mind what we're going to do when that eventually happens and how we're going to try to lessen some of the blow on people and provide resources for people and things like that. Because in my past experience, when something like this goes under, it can get kind of deep and heavy quickly.
when she tells them, I said, here's what you're going to do. They're coming in and you'll have a few people say, I'd like to be a distributor of this product. Okay, here's what you need to do. Now, by the way, everybody that came in,
she's going to save humanity before Ash does. 1 foot pick at a time.
Look at your product. They're not part of your organization.
Heavy topics like unaliving, losing everything, having to come with the realization that something that you very heavily believed in for 6 years is not what it's claimed to be. And unfortunately, also the realization that Ash is not who he claims to be, which might be a harder blow for people than the company. And I guess we'll also see just how culty it is. That will kind of really seal the deal, won't it?
So you tell them, okay, here's what you're going to do. You get them in a meeting. What meeting? Oh, Connect. Why? Because you own it. And you're going to get paid to use it. Now, they're all in there. They all own it, so you're getting paid for that too. And everybody they invited to that.
Don't worry, we are trying to figure out what to do about that. And it will probably involve something on the Recovering Hunbots website that you could go to find resources and stuff for, things like that when your scam does not work out.
That business are getting paid because they use Connect. You tell all of them, here's what I want you to do. I want you to
like Violet says, it's a dual-edged sword. We would like to see Onpassive implode, but the heavy toll of hundreds of thousands of people have their hearts broken and their dreams destroyed. That's right. So you have to prepare for that.
Make a video with some testimonials. Make a page on Create with a call to action and do what I did. First time in the history of...
And the sad thing is, Taylor, is that we think about it more than they do.
First time in the history of the last 50 years of any business online.
We seem to care more about what happens to the people in this thing in future than they do, right? Ash isn't thinking about these things. He doesn't give a fuck what happens to anyone.
It's duplicatable.
Marty, for fuck's sakes, this whole fucking live stream has just been Marty spouting off fucking buzzwords at us that MLMs use while talking shit about other MLMs. Like, what does that mean, Marty, when you say it's duplicatable? Duplicatable. What does that mean, Marty? We don't know.
First time ever.
I'm sure Mike Ellis is sitting here like, why am I here? Like, why did you invite me to this? Am I going to get a word in? Or what's going on? Hello, King. They can just follow Ash to his next business opportunity. And sadly, do you know what? Many money. right? Like, let's be real. A lot of them have come. I mean, if you look at Michael Williams' AIM, we found out that he's known Ash since all the way back in Telex free time. So it's like that he might already have people that are loyal to him that have been following him, right? From one scam to another, like from Telex free to GDI Fusion to Ash Max to Onpassive, right? And then he's picked up Marty and these guys kind of in GDI. Like, you can almost like see the trail of Ash and where he's picked up these people from. It's interesting. So chances of him, if this does implode, going and starting a brand new one or finding something else to get into and then having a lot of these people follow him is quite high. Like, that might be what happens with especially like Marty and Mike here. Ash will be on his next scam when Onpassive goes down. I mean, yeah, for all we know, he's already trying to find one, right? Mike is like, I gotta get out of here soon. My shift at the drive-thru starts in 30 minutes. Can you please let me talk? Did you not invite me on? I mean, I know Jelly often comes in here and makes like these comments about how Marty talks first often. But this one's like overboard. This one's like he totally took over the show. And what is Mike even doing here as the guest? Why is he here? Is he going to get to speak? There's like, we're over halfway. And Mike hasn't said one word. Ash only cares about his mani-pedi session when the next one will be. Probably. It would be wrong for Onpassive to succeed, for better for it to collapse, but founders are refunding their investments. They might think twice before rushing into other scams next time. You hope so. You hope so. Unfortunately, there will also be a large number that are just going to go off and try to find the next one. You got to be prepared for all the different types of people that are in MLMs to be in this one. How can it be duplicatable? I can't even say it as wrong as he did. And I have a fucking speech impediment and I can't even do it. If it's not an MLM and if the window for being a founder is closed, right? Good point. I mean, I guess they're all doing the same thing, so technically they're duplicating it, making it duplicatable. But, I mean, you're right. There's already a whole bunch of people that are going to be more successful than anyone else coming in after them. And those people will not be able to do the same steps whatsoever, which involves joining as an O founder before this thing launches, right? To redo this process, which, oh my God, could you imagine being like, yeah, I want to go through what all these people just went through? Like, I'm good, thanks. Julie will take the crash the hardest, and she needs this to succeed since her family has been riding her. And that's one of the hard things about that, is that a lot of people, they get into a position where it's almost like even if they want to leave, they also want to prove everybody wrong, that they were all wrong about it, and it kind of adds to them staying in it for longer. Marty rambled about nothing this morning. He's rambling about nothing right now, pretty much. It's like every single day we get his opinions and his views on how things have been. And all about Ash and how he feels about Ash and what Ash wants to do here. It's like, where's this numbers talk?
So now the lady that came in a month after you got started, she is now building what?
Nothing.
She's building multiple streams of income under one roof.
Not really.
Unlimited. And I don't want to keep going because I'm starting to sweat. And I want to say,
See, that just sounds stupid because there's no way to have unlimited amount of products, you know?
time for Mike. But I just want you to listen. I always say I'm not here to motivate you. I don't believe in motivation. Motivation is Amway. You get in, you're hyped. Then you get home and realize you can't do any of the things they just told you to do. Inspire you to think of what you have. Just get in, and remember something. The only limitation in Onpassive is about 4 inches. It's between your ears. If you can believe, you can conceive, and it will happen.
So in other words, nothing, because that's what's between Marty's ears. Nothing.
You're always 100% right. If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you won't. Here's Mike Ellis. Mike?
Very wonderful, profound way to end that, Marty.
Be kind.
No, Marty, that was very, very good. I enjoyed listening to all of that, and one of the things you said is just so appropriate. And what you said, it's alive, and that.
Holy fuck. We really are dealing with some small fuses here, aren't we?
That is Onpassive. It's alive. If you've seen that movie,
could you maybe just like rub one brain cell out between the two of you?
Know where that comes from. But when you look at Onpassive, not only it is alive, you can't kill it. It's done. It's going to go forever. And
I mean, I don't really have to. I feel like Ash is doing a mighty good job of fucking it all up on his own. As usual with the things that I cover, don't have to do shit. Okay?
I got a little worried when I saw the title of Marty's of this live, and it's about the numbers.
Yeah.
And of course, the first thing that went through.
You a little worried because you were like, we don't have any fucking numbers. Nothing's been happening here yet, other than we've made $0. 100% of us are real dumb for still being here, and we have one product for sale.
My mind is, this is the day I get terminated. But I'll try and stay in the lines. But really, the reason we're coming on and talking about the numbers is just to get those out of the way. Once you understand what Onpassive has done and is doing right now today,
nothing.
You won't think about the numbers anymore. So I'll
Mike, Marty, you are doing a whole webinar about numbers because you don't want us to think about the numbers, is what you're telling me right now. Sometimes I just want to bash my head against the wall.
I'll go over the numbers, and I'll go with the things we know.
Okay.
And then from that, we'll go into assumptions. And all the.
Why? Why assumptions? Not estimates. A word you would usually use when discussing numbers. Not calculations, no assumptions. Weird. Why? What's the point of that? Like, why? Chris says, even though there are no numbers, Mike will still do the Onpassive math. You invite two, then they invite two, and so on, and boom! We have all 586 billion people on the internet in all 3,000 countries in Onpassive. Right? When the assumptions are incorrect, all the aftermath is wrong. I don't, why? Why are we assuming so much here? Especially when talking about numbers. That's usually not the time that you assume. That's not the word.
Numbers that I'm going to be giving you, they're what we think. We don't really know how it's going to play out. And you'll understand.
We're just playing pretend for 6 years straight. This is all we're doing. Just let's just all play a game of pretend. Let's all pretend that Ash is a god and that we're all about to launch an awesome company that everyone's going to want to join. All right? Yeah. You could even be a fairy if you want, or you know what? A fucking unicorn. That's right.
Understand that as I go through them. But we know today that Mr. Mufara has $38 million that's coming back from the merchants that he's going to distribute to the.
I'm sorry, Mike, how much? 38 million now? So from the time that Marty brought up it was 37 million, like 10 minutes ago, till when you decided to talk about it, you've gained $1 million somehow? Okay.
The affiliates. Excuse me, guys. We know that.
Just excuse him. He's just doing what we like to call the scammer's throat clear.
Now, that 38 million is at 25%. Okay, here's where the assumptions start to come in.
Oh,
we don't know exactly what that $38 million is. Okay. It could be the 25%. If it is, the amount of money that Mr. Mufar is getting back from the merchants is massive. It's massive anyway.
Massive.
But let's just.
It's massive. Onpassive is massive. That's one up from just being massive.
Assume that 38 million is around 48% of what Onpassive has brought in. Okay. And again, that's an assumption that Onpassive is going to pay out 45% of the amount of money they bring in to the affiliates. Okay.
Yeah,
again, we're just assuming things.
But again, why? How come Ash can't tell you the number and the percentage, and then you won't have to assume? Like, that's what I don't understand, honestly. Since you guys are so close with him and everything.
And if we assume that only 75% of the people came in, the affiliates came in and bought.
Right? I have no clue. Like, I don't know where this number came from, because technically, I mean, if we were trying to pull from real numbers, wouldn't it be then 25% that he's paying out to people? Since they're supposed to get 25% commission. But then technically this is their O-Connect payment. And for some reason, they're all getting 100% commission on their own purchase of O-Connect, which I still don't understand. I thought you got commission from the people that were underneath you buying it. And since they never had anyone underneath them, when they bought it, no one's supposed to get commissions. But for some reason, we're all waiting for this big commission payout to come, right? So I have no clue. This is what I mean. Now we really are just assuming now. We're pulling numbers right out of our ass. It's like, 45% sounds good. All right, let's go with that. Woo! But it's like, why can't Ash actually tell you what percentage is being paid out of the money he made? Is there a reason why maybe he wouldn't want you to know that information? Huh? Maybe? You think? Just let it mull around in there for a little bit, Mike.
Connect. That's where that money came from. Then we can extrapolate from that Onpassive will be bringing in about $85 million from the merchants. Excuse me, guys. A little bit of a
like, where the fuck did this $85 million come from? This is what I'm just like, that's a ridiculous number.
Head cold, but that's okay. I'll get through it. So we're assuming that not only is Onpassive bringing in the 38 million, but they're bringing in really 85 million, and a lot of that goes to Onpassive, a lot of that goes to the affiliates.
But I thought that none of it were going to Onpassive because Ash wasn't going to make any money off of this because he wasn't in this for the money. It was just going into a pot to then be spent on saving humanity and given back to the founders so that they can all live happily with their basic needs all met. And then Ash is going to create communism within Onpassive. And you're all going to share the rest of the money in order to save each other and save humanity. From what? We're not sure. I'm trying to save them from you guys and Ash, but we can only do what we can do. Aside from the 6 leaders, most of the founders have 0 team size. All these calculations are irrelevant. And that's what I mean. I don't know why anyone's even getting a payout here. Like, they're all like, we bought OConnect. Off of who? Because that's the person getting your 100% commissions. Not you. You don't get your commissions from your own sale. That's not my understanding of this. But they're all like, we're getting a big payout. I'm like, okay, I have no clue how this fucking business works anymore. Like, every time you think you know, you're like, okay. So they get 100% commission the first sale. That's 25. All right. I think that I can make that make sense to myself. I can sort that out. Even me with my dyscalculia, I'm like, I can at least, that makes sense. That's at least some kind of a commission plan we got going. Good. But then they're like, oh, we all bought OConnect and now we're all getting 100%. And I'm like, well, wait, where's that coming from? Now I'm back to not fucking understanding it. Like, I'm so close. So close. Mike clears his throat every time he lies. The bigger the lie, the harder the throat clear. That's right. A lot of scammers do it. When you're lying, your mouth gets dry. And a lot of them, they end up getting kind of like, you get a dry mouth, but you get some phlegm, so they, little throat clear thing that they do. And once you notice it, you'll notice all of the scammers that you watch doing it. Just to let you know. Then it just sticks out at you forever after that. I can't watch anyone now without them doing that, me being like, well, you're scamming right now. You lied. I heard that.
Those are all assumptions, but I think they're pretty close.
Sometimes it makes me cough because they'll be sitting there going like every few minutes, and I'm either making fun of it like I just did, and then it makes me cough, or you ever watch something over and over again, because I'm also usually watching them throughout the day before and after the stream, and it's almost like they have a nervous tick that they're doing, so then you somehow pick it up because they're around it all the time. It becomes like that. And I'll be like, wait, now I'm fucking clearing my throat all day. What the fuck? I'm calling out the scams. I can't scam.
If we bring in the other 25% that come in and buy OConnect, all of a sudden, the amount of money that Onpassive is bringing in monthly is around $100 million. That's a pretty good chunk of change. And that's one product. That's OConnect. And you have to understand, they did this in about 2 weeks. That's why all the problems came into play. They did this so quickly that everybody said, no, that's
the slowest fucking startup of a company. They did it so quickly.
Impossible. No company can do that. And of course, Onpassive is not just another company, and they did do that. So when we start to assume what's happening with an Onpassive with one product and everybody buying is $100 million.
See, Scam Chana, that's what I don't understand. Technically, are they not all just at the top of this pyramid in a straight line right now? No one's underneath them. And technically, based on their business structure, Ash would be the only one above them with the Onpassive company, right? He represents Onpassive and himself, because he's usually pocketing all the money from Onpassive, so it's the same thing, right? So it's it should be him, and then everybody just in a straight line underneath. We've only gotten one level of this pyramid. The traffic that's allocating was supposed to be the second level and etc. Because they thought they were going to get so much traffic, there would be spillover and blah, 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 right? So I'm like, what commissions are they getting? I know that when you buy OConnect, the person above you gets 100% commission. So then technically, that would be Ash and Onpassive pocketing all of this money right now. They would get 0 until they get people under them and that person buys Connect, that's when they get 100% commission. So I have no clue where anyone gets off that they're getting paid any money at any time, whether it's on hold or not with the merchant. I'm already confused about that. I'm like, this makes no sense. Because then other times when they're talking about this, they claim to have teams. So this is what I mean. Like, nothing makes sense over here. Because then they'll be like, we've been building our teams these last 6 years. And I'm like, okay, but then how do you guys have a team? Who's on this team? Do they know that they're on your team? And like, do they then have people under them also on your team? Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, then do they get commissions? So do we have a few levels of this already? It's just, they're all under the very big delusion that they're all at the same level, right? Or are they all at the same fucking level? In which case, then, they're not technically owed a cent right now for any commissions till the next time Connect's for sale. Which is why I'm like, none of this matters until they secure another merchant in future and this thing fucking goes public and customers and other people to join are signing up. Until then, like, nothing matters. Wouldn't it just be $0 to everyone? And Ash is just kind of like pocketing 100%. And then they're like, oh, well, Ash said he was giving the money back to us. And I'm like, no, but then he gave you the 95 coin. And that was what that was. So, again, I have no clue. Nothing makes sense here. We're all still trying to figure it out. For some reason, they all think they figured this out. But I really did just break it down for you. So, like, if that doesn't make sense to you, congratulations. Now you understand what's going on. You know, like, it's like, I don't fucking know. I try to explain this to people, and I'm like, I know I sound like a crazy person. But this is actually what's happening over here. They're all on the same level, and then they think they're getting their own money back in commission, and I don't understand. Very confused. And then Marty will mention the rotator, which was supposed to help founders with O-Team, but that idea went down the drain. Yeah, like O-Staff. Was that what was supposed to come into fruition next? So that they had something like that going on. I seem to remember O-Staff being a thing, right? Plot twist, no one gets people under them for 100% commissions, but they can get 25%. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what started happening. At the Florida launch party for O-Staff. Yeah, see, wasn't it around that time? And they were like, we're going to have O-Staff. And it's going to help you run your business. And then we just never heard about it again. Like many other things that they randomly bring up. It'll be like 7 months from now, and then they'll bring it up again. The dark merchant wants massive fees, so probably. But that's the thing, is that going forward now, yeah, any future merchant is probably going to want more than the last one did. Especially since they sued them. Mr. Ash has all the passwords to the crypto and bank accounts, and she deals it. I mean, yeah. Or he just gives it all to her for no reason.
Now, we know right behind that, again,
we don't know.
These are the numbers that I believe are going to be happening very, very quickly. We know that right behind that, there are going to be 4 other products coming in, right? Now, we don't know what they're going to charge for these products, but let's just assume it's going to be $100 a product. So instead of $100 million coming in, now we've got $500 million coming in.
What?
And if
you know I'm bad at math, but that's wrong, right?
Passive shares 45% in commissions to the affiliates.
But we're not getting 45%. Where do the... If ass has ever, if assuming it's ever made an ass at anyone, I swear to
is
This is
225
ridiculous.
million.
This is just silly.
That's a month. I'm not talking about a year here, guys. That's a month if we have a monthly fee for those. When you start to think about that, you start to think about your position. You start to think about what Onpassive is going to be doing for you. And again, we don't know how the commission is going to be structured or how it's going to flow. We know the 25% is set in stone. But after that, we don't know what the corporate volume is going to be like and how it's going to be distributed. But it's going to benefit everybody. Okay.
We just wanted to play pretend for a day. You know?
That's the easy part. That's what's happening right now. That's what could be what could be happening with 1 million people in Onpassive, 1 million accounts, 5 products, 500 million a month. Now, when we listen to Mr. Mufara, we know that he believes over the course of the first year, and I think this is very, very conservative, that
you cough a little bit more.
100 million people are going to come into Onpassive, 100 million accounts.
I think this is really conservative. Do you?
Right now, we've got 1 million. Now think about 100 million.
Did you lose some? Because a couple of years ago, you apparently had 1.4 million. And then it was 1.6 million. And now we're back to the 1 million again. So did you lose several 100,000 people, or do you just make up these numbers all the time?
Okay. 100 million.
This sounds ridiculous.
With one product, OConnect, $100 account. What is that number?
Here's the thing. They were lucky to get the 108 million that they got from the 800 and however many thousand people that the SEC was able to trace, right? That, they were lucky for that. I don't think they're ever going to get close to that again, because when you think about it, again, not everyone bought the OConnect. Many were unable to. You had to pay either $143 or you had to pay the $97 again, depending on when you bought it. And not everyone had that money to pay out again. Which is another reason why I'm there's going to be a whole bunch of people that haven't bought this. They're not getting anything right now. Even if you do get 100% of your own sales commissions. Several weren't able to. So, are we just taking the number and then timesing it by 5? I don't understand. Makes no sense.
This is where the numbers get so crazy that you can get to a point where you can't even comprehend them, but understanding that they're going to get that big, you don't have to worry about the numbers. You can just set them aside. So 100 million people, $100, that's 50.
Oh, Lord.
And I have to look at the number because every time I look at it, it just blows me away. It's $10 billion a month. Okay.
See, then that's what I'm saying, Chris. You had 800,000, right? Maybe if you're lucky, 100,000 of them bought OConnect. So, and that's about right for numbers, by the way. If you actually look at the number of sales you'll get, that's about right.
Now we go with 5 products, 100 million people. It's $50 billion a month. 5 products. 5 products. Okay. Now you extrapolate those 5. This is just 5 products, guys. We're going to have over 50 products. But when you extrapolate that 5 products,
that's going to be another 50,000 years going by how this has been going. Lord.
Over a year time, it's $600 billion.
And like someone literally says in the comment section, this Ava person, bottom comment there, like, I just stopped trying to figure out anything. Like thinking, who does that? Why think when I can just let people lie to my face for hours a day? It's like, no, don't do that.
Now, I can't even wrap my mind around that figure. Again, this is all speculation. If we just extrapolate things using some very simple figures, and we don't know what the cost of the products are going to be. Some are going to be 100, some are going to be more than 100, some are going to be less than 100. But just $100 per product.
Exactly. So then think of it like this, okay? You only have one product for sale. You'd be lucky if like 20% of the people in your company actually bought the O Connect. All right? That it works the same with all the other products. No matter how many people are in this thing, you'll be lucky if 20% actually buy that product. And here's the funny thing. A lot of the people that bought O Connect, again, it's not even because they wanted to. Or they were like, oh, I need this fucking in my life. I need this video conferencing app. Or because they were like, this is so cool. I love this O Connect that Ash Mufara made. It wasn't even for any of those reasons. It was because you literally told them that they couldn't make money off of it unless they bought it. So even the people that bought it were technically forced to. It was like a forced sale put on them, which I just have a huge issue with because I think it's pretty gross to force people to have to buy something in order to make money off of it. You claim you're not an MLM. That's no difference than making people buy products and then keep it in their garage to me. You're just doing that virtually instead with a video conferencing app. Right? So again, it's probably going to be like that for all the other products too. And the only thing that's keeping your company alive is that dream of making money off of these products. Not because people, again, want to use the products because they think they're that great. So do you really think that random people are going to be signing up for this thing in like big numbers like that? And do you think that you're going to be getting that many sales of each of these products? You're out of your mind.
5 products over the course of the year, $600 billion. Right there, we don't need to go any further than that, period. We just don't need to do it. And that's, yeah, absolutely crazy. Now you insert that 50 product number in there. Just insert it in there. And again, the number that comes up, you can't comprehend that number. But if we use the same extrapolation with 50 products, 100 million people over the...
Yeah, exactly. They're not even on O Connect for this. They're using StreamYard for this, which is just even more beautiful. So many people are going to want to use O Connect for all of their streaming needs. You can now stream directly to YouTube. It's amazing. But meet me on StreamYard while I tell you about it.
Course of the year, what do you think that number is? Now, there are no companies in the world that make this kind of money. Not.
It says Mike is a worse actor than John Barella. Oh shit, he really is though, isn't he? He never feels sincere to me. Is it just me? Why do I feel like he's always putting it on? Like he has this like professional mic that he tries to kind of be. I don't know. It's very weird. He always seems so disconnected from emotion to me. Is it just because he's a sociopath? Like, what is it? I don't know. Help me figure it out. Cats can use O Connect. Meow. Thomas says, when Mikey gets the old calculator out, we know we're in for a treat.
Not even Apple.
When he has to start reading the numbers off the screen, we know we're in for a treat.
The largest company in the world today does not make the number that I'm going to throw out to you.
So
Okay.
then why the fuck would you make it? Like, at this point, we're just being ridiculous. All right? Like, you're looking at the largest company in the world, and then you're going, oh, we're going to make more than them. Like, why? Why are you this arrogant? It's ridiculous. Hello, Stricardo. Good to see you. Just to clarify, is it 2 people in your downline that are needed to earn $60 billion per month? Right? Queen, did you know that you're about to have 50 trillion people in your organization? No. No. It's just like, Jesus. We're really just making up numbers now, Mike. It's getting a little silly for you to be like, oh, the biggest company out here will make more than that. Like, most places wouldn't do that. It's very unrealistic.
50.
Yeah, but it's very, very conservative. It's a very conservative number. I think it's conservative, he says. It's like, okay, can you define the word conservative for us? Because I don't think it means the same thing as what I think it means. I can't imagine something run by Ash Mufareh would make more money than General Electric. Right? 500 billion, that's just 2 products. Ha ha! Beat you,
Products,
Mike!
100 million people over the course of the year. It's over $6 trillion. That's 100 million accounts.
Oh my God.
We've got 5.6 billion people in the world, everybody trying to do digital transformation. Do you think we're going to stop at 100 million accounts in Onpassive? No. It's going to go to 100 to 200 to 300 to 400 to 500.
Okay, but just because you're all opening up a bunch of fake accounts doesn't mean you got new people joining. All right, at this point now, I'm like, what? Because you're all going to open up 100,000 accounts for yourself? That's the only way that will be happening.
Million accounts within Onpassive. And then when you put that number in there and extrapolate it out,
there's going to be 800 billion accounts in Onpassive in the next 10 years. Promise.
I don't even want to talk about that number. All I'm doing here is...
Yeah, what about the squillions that it will make, as Comfort says? All right, it's going to make squillions. Billions upon millions upon squillions.
Is giving you the understanding of what Onpassive is doing. Marty's already talked about the unlimited ability of Onpassive. This shows you it is unlimited. And what you can...
That's right. And after Ash signs up the whole world, he's just going to start impregnating bitches. He'll make new people. And then he'll sign them up the second they're born. We'll just keep going.
Do within Onpassive, Marty's absolutely right. It depends on what's between your ears, what you can think.
Oh,
because you can literally do anything within Onpassive. You know, Marty talked about that young lady that talked about her business. And I'm thinking, I'm going, you know, she could do this using Onpassive and make $1 million by accident, total accident. And that doesn't include what Onpassive is going to bring to the table. So when you
sign up the pets too, why not?
Start to think about the numbers of Onpassive and all the numbers that I've gone over. Remember, always remember. In the AI IT area, artificial intelligence and informational technology products. All of those products, all the revenue that comes in goes through the affiliates, you and I, all of it. Now, how much of that is Mr. Mufareh going to give to it? He's already told us. He's going to give us as much as legally possible.
Wait, what? What does that mean? Is there some kind of like cap on the money that you can give out in your business? I don't think so. I mean, really though.
Is it 45%? I don't know. Could it be 50%? Could be. Could it be 55? Could be. Could it be 35? I don't know.
Well, why isn't it 100? I thought Ash didn't need to make a cent. Non-passive didn't need to make a cent. It was just going to continue to pay its employees with magic like it has been. So, like, why wouldn't it be 100% going back into everyone that deserves their commissions, all the O founders and affiliates and etc. in this thing. I'm saying, like, why only make it 50% or 60 or 70 when it should be 100? Ash doesn't need to make a cent. Ash said it. I don't need to make any money. Onpassive doesn't need to make a cent. I'm doing this all for you guys. All of the money is going to be put in a pot, and then it will be distributed out back to all of you. And we will use that money to save humanity. After I create a communist compound. We'll call it Jonestown. Don't you remember? Don't you remember when Ash was saying
If that's a
that?
cult, call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
Yeah, exactly. See? That's what's going down, right?
Whatever that number is, when you start to extrapolate from where we are right now, 38 million in the bank.
Ash already said he will take something for the maintenance, so Mike is not telling the truth. No, but neither is Ash. And Ash kind of, like, when you're running a business, like I said, you got to take the money that you make and then put some of that back into the business. Makes more sense for him to take some of the money to pay the employees, pay the rent of the offices, or the maintenance of the products, and etc. But Ash assured everyone that Onpassive was completely different than all the other companies out there because it runs on magic. Right? So he just pays everyone with magic. He pays the rent of all the offices with magic. And then all of the money can go back to all the O founders and into saving humanity.
And understand that it's much, much more than that, because Onpassive's money is in there too. And then you start to distribute that through the affiliates, through the commissions, through the bonus structure, through the corporate volume. All of a sudden you get to a point where you understand, yeah, I'm going to be fine. And then it takes me to a place in Africa, Cameroon.
He can only pay out the unknown legal percentages. Apparently now we're in Cameroon. Why? Why Cameroon?
And this just...
Leave them alone. That's what I want to say. I want to get the fuck out of there. Leave them alone. All right, if you're not actually going to do something to help these people, can you just fuck off? Because, like, you literally go looking for people that need help just to show up and be like, I will save you. First, you have to buy this product for $375 after you join this thing for $97. And then, you know, maybe in 10 years, we might get you some kind of, I don't know, water filtration system or hospital built over here. I don't know. We'll see what happens after I take my cut, of course. Wife needs her hair did. Little Ash is still doing those martial art classes, you know? They're expensive. It's like, Jesus, just leave them alone. All right? They don't want your shit. You're going to go into these places. Actually go there to help. Is it really that hard? Is human decency really that hard?
blows me away.
It does. It blows me the fuck away, too.
An individual in Cameroon, and the tech guys shared this with us, and when I heard it, I was flabbergasted. They can make $500 a month and live like royalty. I mean, literally royalty. They can have a mansion, they can have servants, they can have all the cars they want, they can do whatever they want to do. And then I think about the numbers of Onpassive and what's going to be happening to these individuals that...
You're a piece of shit. So let me get this straight. You plan on what? Making it so that the people in Cameroon, they get like $5,000 each a month? And then you'll be over here in the USA making $4 or $5 million, right? So that you can also live like a king in your country. I see what you're doing. Do you see what you guys are doing?
That want to come in and just make $200.
Fuck you.
And my response to that is, can that happen yet?
You promised those people millions of dollars. All right? So you better hand them over millions of dollars of US. All right, I don't want to hear any of this shit. Oh, well, we just got to pay them $5,000 because that's all they need to live well. Go fuck yourself. No one gets left behind. Everything's equal, right? So make it equal then. And stop trying to leave all these people behind.
Yeah, that's going to happen for you. But what's going to happen after that, you can't stop. Because you're not going to just make $200, in my opinion. You're going to make $2,000. And then it's going to be $5,000. And this is monthly. And when that happens to an individual who can live like royalty on $500 a month, think what happens when they make $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month or $5,000 a month. Now they can change that country because it's just not one person in that country. Because I believe over time, most of that country is going to come into Onpassive because of the genius behind the structure of Onpassive and what Mr. Mufara has done. So hopefully,
because you got your grimy hands all up in there already, and you're manipulating a bunch of people in several of the communities there into believing that you're the answer to all their problems. That's what you mean to say.
hopefully this doesn't get me terminated, guys. It's just speculation from that 38 million that we know is there and what could happen.
Well, I don't know. Do we know it's there, Mike? Because at the beginning of this, according to Marty, it was only 37 million. Apparently, during your webinar, another million just came out of nowhere.
Few months and the next year, I believe Onpassive will have way more than 100 million accounts in Onpassive. And then when you start to extrapolate the numbers with even more than 100 million accounts, it just gets to a place where my mind can't comprehend it. I can look at the numbers as abstract things.
My mind can't comprehend how you can sit here and bullshit people with a straight face for so long and for so many years. That's what my mind cannot comprehend. And then you can actually look yourself in the face in the mirror and be like, I am a decent person. And then go to sleep at night. That's what I can't comprehend. Can you explain that to me?
But these are not abstract. These are real things that are going to be happening within Onpassive.
I thought you were just assuming. I thought you were assuming. And now they're real. And they're actually going to happen like this. Jesus Christ, which one is it again?
And it's going to benefit each and every one of us. So hopefully these numbers help you just put the numbers aside, put it behind you. And that's why Marty, Dan, and I, that's why Mr. Mufara, we don't really think about the numbers anymore. I mean, it's fun to do the exercise. I did this morning, and I just had to stop because it was getting ridiculous. But the numbers, they're there, they're real, they are going to be happening, in my opinion, and you can put them aside. Onpassive,
we're using the hunbot.net. I'm just wondering.
It is the real deal. It is alive, and it's not going anywhere. Marty, go ahead and take it from there. Hopefully those are okay.
It's alive.
Fantastic. That's right. It's alive. I saw that movie when I was a kid. Yeah, we were just trying. Listen.
We all did, Marty. Thank you.
Once again, as a disclaimer, we are two gentlemen that happen to be.
I also believe that jokes about it have already been made by Robot Chicken, but
Onpassive for over 5 years. We read tea leaves, Onpassive tea leaves, and we're pretty good at it. Do we know everything? No, absolutely not. I don't want to know. What we could do is look at what's happened, look at what we do know, and then.
Which is, again, what? Because based on what I know, it's that nothing's going to be happening. Nothing ever happens when it's supposed to happen. Nothing ever happens on time. And Ash fucks up everything at every single turn. That's possible. And then he even creates extra corners just to fuck up more.
Move it around a little bit. And like I said, it was our opinion. But I believe everything that we said could happen. I really do. I believe more than likely it will happen. But, and like Mike said, when you know that the numbers don't even make sense.
Pilot, About 75 years ago. No, I'm just
And it's like they're beyond. Stop thinking about it. We're going to be fine. Uh,
We're going to be
when,
fine.
when 99% of the people on passive, life changing at $500 a month, what impact are we going to make as a company? I can't wait. And all of you, we're all going to do very, very well. Part of the reason myself, Mike, and Dan are even here and stayed here is because we saw for the first time in our lives that anything we did, anything we built straight across, all of that, we believed indirectly would help many, 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 many other people. And Mike with the videos, he did it knowing it's going to go way beyond whatever we do for our so-called team. It was to help everyone. We've done that from the beginning. We mean what we're doing. Dan Street is exactly.
I feel like you constantly reassuring yourself and everyone in your streams makes it look like you're not too sure about what's coming. Because for the last several weeks, I feel like you keep trying to convince us that it's coming soon. And you wouldn't have to keep on doing these rants about how great everything is and all of this if something was actually coming. I think you're worried.
The same way. And most of you are that way. That's why we all get along. And I want to think of it.
I personally don't, because the merchants are putting the money back into an account. And as we kind of talked about during the last stream, then Ash has to figure out a merchant to pay them all out with. So, and then we're just back in the same position. So I feel like nothing's really going to be happening here. Best case scenario, they do get their money. But then we're just right back into an issue with no merchant again. So I feel like after that, they're going to have to extend it after that. You know, so there might be one payment taken from everyone if they get paid. But then we're going to be seeing endless extensions again. And none of them seem to be thinking about that. They're just all tunnel vision focused on, oh, the merchant took money off hold. They're going to put it in a bank account for Ash. So therefore, Ash is going to, be able to just start this business.
Everybody for being here. It was powerful. Mike wants to say one more thing. This is the part where we're going to jail. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
we get in trouble here, but Marty sparked so many things. Listen,
you fart so many
understand
things?
Marty, Dan, and I. We've been doing this for a good 20 years. Really, when you look at when we started and how long we've been doing this, we understand what we're doing. And when
I feel like in 15 years from now, we're going to hear him say this exact same thing. And he'll be like, I've been doing Onpassive for 20 years. I promise you guys, this will be the last Oaknet extension. And we're all going to have 100 million, 1,000 bazillion, squillion people join us.
We have the opportunity to come into Onpassive and listen to Mr. Mufara and actually be in front of Mr. Mufara while he talked to all three of us.
Yeah, and that's not a special thing. The fact that you all treat this man like he's some kind of god is actually really creepy. That's the culty part of this. See, Bear Creek says, how is he going to pay people? Does Ash plan on crediting back people's credit card, bank transfer, etc.? Because again, what do you need for that? A merchant. And that's what I mean. I think we're in for the same issue. Ash will mail Google gift cards. Jesus Christ. Right. Yeah, 20 years and you're living in your mom's attic and working at McDonald's. They'll just rename the extension and call it a bonus-free Oaknet. You had a bonus-free month again. Woo! At least then it wouldn't be every 10 days, though. That probably is more annoying. They should just do it monthly if they're going to fucking do that, you know? It would also help them, because then they're constantly having to, put it off. It's like, you got to give people extensions 3 times per month. instead of just once per month. And I feel like that adds more stress to all the people in this company, but it's like, what would they talk about then? So maybe that's why.
We understood what we had, and then as Mr. Mufara,
you gotta keep them stringing along, right? Everyone's gotta be strung here.
Talked more and more, not only to us, but to all the affiliates.
When?
Because of the experience.
Literally came out for half an hour. Not even, by the way. I don't even think it was a full half an hour. I think it ended up being like not even 10 minutes where he actually said something. And then in the Oron, maybe half an hour of what, the 5 hours he was on there was important information, but it was just really a repeat of everything he had said on the 360 because like nothing new has happened. So he just kind of reset it again. Like, so when was this big thing? Like, I don't understand. What about this is any different or special? Other than, again, yay, the money's coming soon, we think.
Experience we've had, we knew what was happening. It's not a question, did we think we knew? We knew what was happening. This is 5 years ago, guys.
Not good.
This is why Marty, Dan, and I have been so excited.
Does the SEC know that you all knew all about all this?
For the last 5.5 years. We knew what was going on five and a half years ago. And as Mr. Mufara changed his vision, we saw his vision. It's not that we made it up. We saw his vision, and we projected that out through Onpassive. So when you come in...
They're all just magic. It's like they all have telekinesis. And then they just project it out. It's like, no, you literally 5 years ago, you were talking the same way you were now. Except you used to have to translate 5 hours of Ash Mufara talking nonsense. And then Ash-splain it. As Ash joked about. Because even he thinks it's funny. Oh, now you guys are going to be explaining what I say for a week. Real funny, huh? You're going to do some Ash-splaining? Because, you know, mansplaining. Vote for Trump today. Right? Where you're like, oh, gotta explain what Ash said. We have no clue what's going on. We don't know what's going on. It's been said 5 million times. But now you're sitting here going, we knew everything that was going on. We saw his vision. It's like, Jesus Christ. How do you rewrite history like this?
And you listen to Marty, when you listen to Dan, when you listen to me, or you listen to Red or Chris, understand this is no longer speculation for us. The numbers are, because they're going to fluctuate. Onpassive is not speculation. We know what's going to happen, period. I can tell you what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Now I'm going to let Mr. Mufara do that, and we're going to see it in person because it's happening right now.
Oh, okay.
But when you come in and you listen to Marty, or you listen to Dan, or you listen to some of these other affiliates in Onpassive,
not you.
It's not speculation anymore. You can take this.
You didn't think today of yourself either. All right.
Stuff to the bank, and when you have that assurance, man, you ought to wake up with a smile because things are going to be happening, and they're happening right now. That's it. I could go on for another hour, Marty, but I get pumped up when I mean. This it's now. It's happening right now. It's not a year down the road. It's not a month. It's now. So go ahead, Marty. I won't say anything more.
No, that's good. I love it. I just got to be careful because I might.
Violet says like now, like the definition of now that we all know to be true, or like Onpassive's version of now, which means maybe in about 6 years from now.
Say more too. No, but the point is, and remember, all the fences that we build up around our minds and our body and our beliefs.
Whoa, hold on. There was a comment that came up here.
Wake up with a smile because things are going to be happening, and they're happening right now. That's it. I could go on for another hour, Marty, but I get pumped up when I mean this it's now. It's happening right now. It's not a year down the road. It's not a month. It's now. So go ahead, Marty. I won't say anything more.
No, that's good. I love it. I just got to be careful because I might say more.
All found die after coming. Oh, connect. please stop making drama. That's my favorite comment ever. I have no clue what it means, but I love it.
More too. No, but the point is, and remember, all the fences that we build up around our minds and our body and our belief and what is possible, Onpassive has destroyed them.
Yep.
As far as you can see.
You had no hope for this thing then at the beginning, huh? Like, how little a hope did you have to have and faith in this did you have to have for it to have exceeded your expectations at this point? For real, though. You know? Say goodbye, Mike, and go relieve all that excitement. Oh, Lord. Onpassive now.
See here and here, you can go. If you're having a problem seeing any farther than a 2-mile radius, you need to work on that. You're not in the right place here. Get there.
Oh, it's their fault. It's not the fact that, like, this thing is moving at a fucking snail's pace and they've been sitting around waiting for their commission since September. No, it's their minds aren't in the right place. That's right. Change your entire mindset in order to be a part of my cult. All right, you must be thinking positive all the time, even when negative things are happening or things aren't making sense. We don't care. You have to stay positive and just have trust and faith in Ash.
Right. Find out what you have. At least, listen, even the minimum. If you're really good at figuring out what we have in Onpassive, it will cause sleepless nights. Trust me.
You're really good at figuring out what we have in Onpassive. It will cause sleepless nights because you'll be waking up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night, horrified of bankruptcy. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? When founders log into their account, does it show how much they are owed? No. There is no way to see what is owed. In future, you are supposed to be able to see your team underneath you. But based on what I can see in the back office, and maybe I'll show you in a second when this is over, it's really just going to be you that has to manually input it. And I'll show you what I mean. I can show it to you.
We're going to have a lot of fun. We're here to help everyone. I hope... From a show of hands, please.
That's their new motto. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're here to help everyone. Like, at least it's better than In It to Win It, which was stolen. I like the comment, stop with this prayer program. That's a good one, too. Stop with this prayer program, Marty. Thomas McKenna says, I mean, whoever that is.
Did this inspire you at all on this Sunday morning? Because that would make me feel good. Give me a thumbs up if you didn't like it. Don't say anything, okay? I don't need that.
Yeah.
Anyway, 400 people today, Mike. Not bad for a Sunday.
Yeah, we just want toxic positivity here. All right, listen, we cannot take any constructive criticism. This is a cult. So what we say goes. Do not tell us anything negative. You will break our itty-bitty hearts. Our cold, black, itty-bitty hearts.
It's a good Sunday, Marty. Because every Sunday's good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris couldn't make it, guys. His family's leaving, and he wanted to say goodbye to him and all that. I understand. He'll be back tomorrow with me.
Now, in reality, we all know that Chris is out on his boat and he's fishing.
Yeah. No. Worse than that. He's with Ashby Park fishing. They're drinking pina coladas. Joking. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
As Joel Austin, God, I hate that man. He is the creepiest looking of all of the friggin' people that do that. It's so creepy. I feel like his eyes just pierce into your soul. Whenever he stares at the TV screen, I jump a little. I'm like, oh, he's looking at me. And he horrifies me. Probably were, though. Probably were. I feel like Ash and he would be great friends. They could brag about all the money they've pocketed. You know, it would be great fun. You'd probably meet him at the Golden Corral. Just saying, Chris. Wrong Ash was in the same state and didn't give him the time of day. I mean, it's true. Ash hasn't given any of them really the time of day. And he's met up with Bill Williams and a couple other people. And when you see him meeting up with people, it's very unnatural looking. Like, he always seems very uncomfortable and like he really does not want to be there. Like, he doesn't want them touching him. He doesn't want them to breathe on him. You can almost like see his grandiose views of himself in a way, but also like just his distaste for being around people. It's very like weird to watch. Chris's family was running away as fast as possible, right? As if Ash would hang out with Chris. Ash had his chance. I doubt Ash is going to fly to Michigan to hang out with Chris, right? Like, Chris came to him and it didn't happen. So the chances of Ash traveling to go and, yeah, no, I don't think that's happening. I mean, technically, if Ash had said, like, hey, meet me at this place, Chris would have traveled to go see him. Right on his doorstep if he wanted to, you know? So, yeah, no, that won't be happening. On that point, Ash might pay people in Gordon Corral vouchers. Maybe he can. You know? I don't think he thinks of them as human. They are just peasants, right? Dollar signs. He just sees dollar signs. Just there's that one clip that we watched. Every time that someone mentions Ash meeting someone in person, I always think of that brief clip of Bill Williams and him. And they look like they're standing in a hallway. I know I showed it to you guys recently. I don't have it on hand. But like, Bill's doing this little speech and Ash just looks so uncomfortable the whole time. Like, he hates being there. He does not want to be around Bill. And you can see him like trying to almost leave for the whole like last quarter of the fucking video. It looks like Ash has like one foot out the door the whole time. And it's just so uncomfortable to watch. And like, that's like how he is though. He's done like a meet and greet. And he went and met like Susie and all them, you know, remember that? And that was also very awkward to watch. Like, any of the videos of that, like, he doesn't, I don't think he likes any of them. It's funny that they all have to pay for their own potluck food at these get-togethers, right? And they don't have any Onpassive money to pay with. Well, and that's the kind of thing that Onpassive making money would go towards. Right? That's kind of why businesses make money, so that they can put on things like that. But Ash doesn't need any of the money. He's just going to give it all back to them. Ash probably holds most of the founders in contempt for being so stupid, but he needs them, most likely because he does seem to be a very narcissistic personality. And that's kind of how narcs view people. It's only, what can I use you for? Right? And he really does think he's the smartest one in the room. Like, he tries to surround himself with people that he feels are less intelligent than he on purpose, which is also something that narky people often do. I did a lot of counseling for narc abuse, if you haven't noticed. I'll share some of my wisdom with you. But that is usually how they kind of resent everyone in their life. Usually for not being a narc, too. That's usually part of the reason. Your wife won't let you go to the Golden Corral for your birthday. She's probably like, we can do better than that, Joe. I feel like you are better than that. Maybe she has something else planned, you know? Ash thinks Chris might have worked his way up in the organization just so Chris could plunge a knife into Ash at the first opportunity. That time a few years ago when they went to dinner at a restaurant in Massachusetts or Michigan, did Ash pick up the check or did they have to pay for their own meal? I think they all had to pay for themselves. Ash didn't pick up the check for anything. And at every single get-together is usually an O-founder paying for everything. Like, for example, in the UK, when Red did his get-together there, he paid for everything. It was all on his shoulders. That's what I mean.
Oh, you got a lot of thumbs up.
Good.
Oh, we got
How
all
many
the
of you, with a show of hands, think Mike's going to
Be
jail?
sure to give me a thumbs up.
I'm just kidding. All right, I'll see you all. Thank you very much.
Probably.
Thank you.
And that is about numbers, where we basically just speculated and played pretend because we know that most of that stuff isn't going to happen. Well, I hope you had fun there, Jelly. So I believe it was Bear had recently asked about when founders, there it is, when founders log into their account, does it show how much they are owed? So since you've asked, let me show you what it looks like in the back office when you sign into your ecosystem and what you're kind of met with. Now, you're met with this, and it does have your wallet and your OCoin total revenue, but that will only show if you have OCoin money in there, right? As you can see, I don't have any, but I was given the 10 OCoin just for joining. You're just given that. Yay, I'm rich. When you go down, you're going to notice a spot that says total users, affiliates, traffic, and then right here, top customers as well. So as you can see, there's kind of an area that will show you how many people are under you, how many people are on your team in future, and even how many people are just going to be customers. You'll even get a list allegedly of your top ones. If you come over here to this little area on the left, you're going to notice underneath the marketplace is your favorites, your subscriptions, your wallet, which just brings you to this page, which then just shows everything. Now, when you come down, you will have transaction ID, transaction type, OCoin, date and time, payment category, and mode of payment. As you can see, I failed to buy OConnect twice. Oh no, silly me. I was really just checking to see how much it was, and they consider that to be a failed sale. Just so you know. And this is your wallet transactions, and then you also have withdrawal transactions, okay? Now, here you would have to do it first and do a withdrawal first before you'll see any of these withdrawal transactions. This is where you would think that the amount owed to you would be showing, but it's not. If you go to an area that is my revenue, they do have a commission received area. But as you can see, it says no records available. And from my understanding, even if you have bought OConnect, this is still like this. This is because the O wallet is not really finished. It's just kind of here. As it's been explained to me by people that know how these things work better than me when I've talked to them about this in the past. So I'm not sure if here it's going to actually show you the amount owed to you, or if this is going to show you the commissions that you've gotten into your account paid to you already. Right? Like, we're not really sure. Because when you look at it, it looks like, because it says transaction ID, referral name, the date, and then the credit type, and what product it is, it looks like it might only show you your commissions received. There isn't really a spot for like a big number of all of this kind of added up to be like, this is what you're going to be owed in future. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. And then when it comes to putting in your team, you go to my users, and hopefully when teams are getting added, they will automatically show up here. Okay? Now, the thing is, I don't know if it's going to be automatic for real, or if you're going to have to input it, because when it comes to the contacts, there's no way to upload several at a time. You have to upload each one incomplete, like fully manually, and put each contact in there. Even if they're a friend of yours on ONET, right now there's no way to like take your, which you think there would be, by the way, a way to be like, okay, these are my ONET friends, put them in my contact list. So it's kind of hard to say. And we're not really going to know until people start going underneath people and people get paid commissions. I don't have a founder account because you have to pay to get a founder account, and I refuse to give them my money. But I do have somebody that I know that has a founder account that lets me know what's going on, and it looks very much the same. There is nowhere, even in the wallet, that says like you are owed if you paid $143 for the O Connect, since you're supposed to get 100% commission back on your own sale somehow. It doesn't say like you're owed this much. As of right now, it will just show the monies that you already have in there. And since Ash hasn't paid out anything, you know, that will show up as zero for most people unless they've put money in themselves, which they had to do to buy the O Connect. And hopefully the orders will also end up here automatically. But as of right now, this is just kind of sitting here. Like it's not doing anything because they're not doing anything. So we'll really have to kind of see how it goes. Like their affiliate thing doesn't really work either, by the way. So if somebody right now clicks on my affiliate link and then they join the OES, I don't hear about it. And allegedly I'm supposed to be able to know that they've clicked my link. So far it's not going that great. You know, it's not really going that great. Over on ONET, Takara wanted to know, are they still spamming over on ONET? And the answer is yes. Yes, they're always spamming on ONET. ONET is a very weird place. It's very, very weird. And I often get notifications for people that I'm not friends with. Like, I don't know who this Bob dude is. I don't know who he is. I don't know. I don't have him on my friends list, but I keep getting his notifications. I'm like, oh, cool. Bob is doing stuff. Who's Ellen? I don't know. Who's Steve Melvin? I don't know. I'm only really following like Sherry and Violet and Joe and stuff. So I don't know. All right. I don't know. But basically, if you go into the posts on here, it's just like random people that are just posting like nonsense. Just nonsense. So there's that. It's always the same like 5 or 6 people that seem to be posting on ONET. And unless your friends post, you don't really see much other than their stuff just over and over again. And it will be like the same thing, right? Like one person will share a meme, and then like 3 other people will share the exact same meme. And then it's just doing that like over and over again with people all over it. And this is why I say it's such an echo chamber on there. Because what are you supposed to do on there? Are you supposed to be selling O Connect and ONET to people on ONET? Because that's weird, right? But yeah, as of right now, in the back office, there is no way to really know what you're owed because you bought O Connect yourself. And again, like, I don't know how you'd get 100% commission when you bought it yourself. You have nobody under you. You're all in the same line. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, like Mike and Marty said today, basically. Contrasting this to what Zoom sales team just presented is crazy. Probably, because I'm sure that Zoom is doing quite well for themselves, and I bet you they have no clue what Onpassive or O'Connect is. And if, you know, Ash really was making Onpassive crazy incredible, I feel like they would know. Because I feel like they're at least keeping track of what's on the market. Right? Maybe Onpassive isn't, but these other companies are, and they don't know Onpassive exists. And it's like, that's all you need to know. Right? To know that they're lying when they're like, oh, all the companies are trying to stop us. They're scared of our sales. I'm like, who? They don't even know you exist. Like, I swear to God, it's just like our community that knows you exist. And then the people you're preyed on. Outside of that, like, if I was to just walk around and ask random people about they'd be like, what? What's on? Who's this Ash dude? I don't know. Never heard of him. Sorry. And I'd be like, all right, cool. Maybe we'll do it one day in future. I'll even wait and let them say that they've gone viral before we go do that. All right? Just to see what happens. We can do surveys around the internet to see who's heard of them, even. And I bet you it's nobody. Not one person. They'll all be like, never heard of them. Sorry. No clue who that is. And that's the thing, is it's going to stay like that. Because they just keep on building this echo chamber. And the problem with having an echo chamber is that nothing ever expands outside of the echo chamber. And they haven't really realized that yet. You know? The temptation to ask Zoom about O'Connect, right? You're like, oh, I really want to. But then, like, I don't want to be the one that puts Onpassive on their radar either. And they'll just be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? It's like, if only I could. It would be interesting to know what they would think about it, though. I don't think they'd be worried. At all. Like, that's why I kind of laugh when Ash and these guys kind of talk about how people in the market are, like, worried about them. I'm like, who? None of these people are going to be worried about you. Even if they found out about you today, they would be like, this company that took 6 years to make their video conferencing app thinks that they're going to compete with us? Like, okay. Well, you take another 6 years to come up with some more features. Like, it's really not, it's not a scary fucking company. You're not like, oh no, Onpassive is coming. Give Zoom the broom. We're gonna sweep them. Gonna sweep them off the internet when O'Connect goes viral. So yeah, guys, I hope you found that fun. I thought it was nice to go watch Marty again. It's been a little bit of a while since we heard from Mike Ellis too. He tends to be hiding out, but he's been popping back up here and there lately. So we'll see what he's up to. I should be able to stream tomorrow, so stay tuned to the community tab this evening over the next few hours, and I'll let you know what we're doing tomorrow, and I'll see you all then. I hope all of you have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your day. You know, go take a nap. I'm going to go bash my head up against the wall. Maybe it will make me feel better. And again, I'll see you all tomorrow with another one. I love all of you. Shout out to my crew. If you watch this to the end, extra points for you. Check out my video from yesterday. If you didn't see it, think about joining the members. It's the best way to support the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Gary says we should put out a fake press release saying Zoom has declared bankruptcy because of O'Connect. You know what, Gary? Hold that thought. We may be able to do something like that in fun future. Mike's been around a bit more lately, right? Right? He either got fired from his other grift or he really does believe something will be happening soon. I think he thinks it's coming now, right? So let's see what happens in future. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a fabulous rest of your day. I love you all. Mwah. Bye!
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's a call.
friend, 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 friend. My name is Ashko Potter. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or sighing or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought out. Her debate was 3-minute Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the question about religion. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them over and over. It's not the answer you want, but
Yeah.
tell me what you can do, okay? Let's do the guy again. All right, right there.
Alright, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune in to crazy men talking about their experiences. My name is Ashko Potter, and I'm your friend, 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 friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Welcome everyone. Have a fabulous night. Thank you very much.
Stop going there.
Friend, 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 friend.
That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my YouTube channel. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend, 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 friend. My name's Ashko Potter.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there.
My name's Ashko Potter, and I'm your friend, 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 friend.
Let's go to the guy again.